Oh, that's the wrong screen. Okay, here we go. That was first. Okay, there we go. Sweet. Now we're good. Now we're good. Here we are.
Hi.
Don't mind the scuff. Back and ready to get at it. So, this week we have, of course, Tumnus, Theo, Toot, and Potato Dude. Shorter crew this week. And where we left off in last week's adventure and what has happened up to this point. Of course, we started out in the town of Sin, where our various individuals in the group wound up encountering each other as the town was attacked by the Acrylic Empire, which confused a lot of people because the Acrylic Empire is far to the north, doesn't even border the province of Meritea, far from it, and somehow found their way attacking the town of Sin. So, our group took it upon themselves to escort Mystic J of the Mystic Council of Meritea, the leadership group of the province, back to the city of Learston, where the Mystic Council resides, in a beautifully constructed citadel at the base of a mountain range, surrounded by a city of its own. And while there, our group was rewarded for their assistance in bringing Mystic J back, and also hired on for a much larger task. And that task was to travel to the province of Ithaca and seek out Cloud King Rinky in Ithaca and search for assistance on behalf of the Mystic Council of Meritea. Seek an alliance between the two nations. And so, they began their journey the next day, traveling away from the city of Learston and towards the town of Beltel along the roads of Meritea, or at least Pipra, Hera, Cavian, and Thaleri did, as Tormund and Darcy's stayed behind in Learston, as Tormund was set on staying a little longer until he could find any more information as to his query. Darcy stayed behind to help, as Darcy didn't want him to go off on his own. And along the road, the four remaining in the group were attacked by bandits. A decent size of bandits at that. While they eventually dispatched of them, we had our first near-death experience as Hera went down and even failed the first death throw before getting healed. After dispatching the bandits, they found that these bandits had very intricately designed rapiers on them. Their weapons of choice had these markings down the blade, and it seemed as though they didn't really belong with normal bandits. They took a couple, and they carried on, and where we left off, the group was approaching the town of Beltal. So, to jog the memory on town of Beltal as we arrive and where we pick up. Sitting perfectly on the intersection of road and river, the small town of Beltal plays an important part in trade across Meritea. The buildings follow the cues of the sister settlements throughout the province, white and gray stone variants, accented by spruce and oak woods. There's a lumber mill on the river here, and a bustling tavern in the town center. A couple various shops litter the main roadway, including a blacksmith, a tailor, an alchemist, and so on. Located in the heart of the Marin Savannah, there's no mountains nearby or any other notable features in the landscape for that matter. The stables here are very busy, with the town acting as a crossroads for much of any trade that travels through southern Blutora. There are no walls around the town, but there are gateways into the settlement along the main roads that enter and exit. The Maritea colors are proudly on display in banner form hanging on the walls of these gateways, and the town guards stand watch from the open second floor gateway. Pipra, Hera, Kavian, and Thaleri all arrive to the town together after a dodgy encounter with bandits along the roadside. Thaleri, who took quite a beating, reassured his brother before going off on his own into town to find a place to heal up. The group, upon entering the town, left word with one of the town guards to be on the lookout for somebody of Darcy's description, or whenever she arrived, to seek out Thaleri and assist in any healing. As the sun began to sit far off in the horizon, the trio of Pipra, Hera, and Kavian made their way into the bustling Windwater Tavern to pass the night. After about an hour of conversing at the table, the front door to the tavern opens up, and in steps Tormund. Back from a quick side quest and attempting to locate the mysterious woman Tormund is after. Tormund, as you step into the Windwater Tavern, you see a busy main floor with upwards of 10 different tables, all filled for the most part with various patrons. The inside of the building is filled with a warm and welcoming atmosphere. Golden light fills every corner, and the sound of talking, laughing, and everything in between fills the air. Nearby to the main counter sits a table with 3 familiar faces. That of Pipra, Hera, and Kavian. What would you like?
I walk up. Oh man, I am glad we are out of Learston. I'll tell you what. How's the travels for you guys?
Tormund, wonderful to see you again.
It was eventful.
Eventful, yeah, eventful.
What did I miss? What did I miss? Come on, tell me. Give me all the deets. Here, let me get a drink.
Well,
all the barkeep for a round of ales from everyone.
I'd like to hold up the rapier and say, well, Hera got stabbed by this.
I'd like to also hold up the dagger and go, and this.
Oh, it's Hera, it seems like you're attracted to pointy blades. That does not seem like good fortune to you. Are you okay?
Well, thanks to Pipra, yes, but that was a close one. Glad to be reunited, though.
Oh, man, I wish I could heal you, but I took a different spell. Oh, man, well, are you going to need any extra healing? Darcy's just had to stay in Learston for a little bit longer to deal with a few more things.
Okay, well, I certainly hope it's productive for them. To be honest, I just need to lie down after that. That was a lot.
I bet. I would like to say that I haven't been stabbed much, but I could understand how you're feeling right now. Here, let's get a drink. Let's catch up. Could I see the rapier? Do you mind?
Which one?
Which one?
Because Hera has one and I have one.
I have a few daggers as well.
Yeah.
Did you just pull these out of Hera?
Well, 1 or 2 of them.
Were you just a very unique porcupine for a minute?
Certainly, I've experienced enough acupuncture for one day.
Let me just see one of them. DM, does it look?
I'll hold up the one I got.
Do they look familiar? Do they look?
Roll a history
Do they look
check.
like just regular rapiers?
Roll a history check.
A history check? Oh no! Anything with intelligence? Not me, bro. That's a +1 actually because of my bardic stuff. That is a 20, dirty 20.
All right. As they hold up the kind of rapiers, as you're getting a closer look at these, you are almost instantly hit with a wave of both shock and this unsettled feeling as it instantly strikes you as a rapier that came from the same place as the one wielded by the woman you're looking for. You know that this rapier was crafted by the Curio group of the Withering Sea across many miles in Odelia and Morafell alike. A group known for banditry, thievery, hacks, smuggling, almost everything in between. A very notorious and very dangerous group.
You see, you notice as Tormund like looks at the blade and it clicks to him. He like kind of million mile stare for a second, and then he comes to and he goes, "What? Well, it seems like this must have been a very, very hardy group of bandits. I'm impressed you guys took care of them. Any survivors?"
Well, there was going to be one. Operative word
What does
was.
that mean?
Larry was a bit enraged, and you can figure out the rest.
The one that was
Based
supposed to
on
be
one
alive
side.
was the one that got killed the hardest.
The one that was supposed to be shown mercy is the one that got hurt the
We
most.
describe his face half being burnt, and then Larry literally cutting the face in half.
Yeah.
On the line.
Well,
So a little bit more of an activation of brains this time.
I look over to Thalery and like just look up and just
He's not
take
currently here.
He's
Well,
not
well-
here.
I thought you said all four were in the bar.
No, Thalery went off on his own in town.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just take a mental note to never cross Thalery ever in my life.
Not when he's raging, that's for sure.
No, not at all. So I start looking. Question. So you said you had a couple of rapiers in Hera, a couple of daggers in Hera, maybe a long sword, maybe a broadsword, a lot of swords in Hera.
Maybe
Was there
arrows.
a few arrows as well? Did
I
you?
didn't save those ones.
Oh, yeah. You can't. I mean,
did them.
once you get hit with an
I
arrow,
was
you
gonna
have
say,
to break the arrow to
Kavian
take
took
out.
those.
Oh, interesting.
Want to see them?
Yeah. Let me see them. Do they look the same as well? Do they all look like the same style?
I
I'm
also
assuming
offer up the
it's chaos.
daggers to inspect. One of them still mildly bloodstained, but I've done my best to like.
So
get off.
the daggers just appear normal. They don't appear to have any specific correlation or anything like that. You said you're also looking at the arrows.
Yeah.
The arrows, as well, much like the daggers, appear like they don't really have any real correlation. However, you do notice that with the arrows, you specifically, Tormund, off of your good roll, notice that the arrows were... more time was put into crafting them, and more attention was put towards the smaller details, something you wouldn't notice on first glance. But you recognize it as a sign of kind of belonging to a more serious group, having gone out of their way to do little things like that.
Okay. I look at Kavian and I'd be like, these are probably some of the best arrows you've picked up so far. So make sure you put them to good use. Now, yeah, they are fine craftsmanship by this group. I am surprised you guys are not dead. I'm going to be completely honest. Looking at the craftsmanship on all of these swords and arrows, these guys look like big deal, especially without myself or Darcy's. I mean, impressive. I feel like we're going to be able to take down dragons soon as a full group. But big question. Okay, so again,
Of course.
lot of sharp objects in Hera.
Very much.
Was
Not
there
many things I wish to
was there
add.
a cutlass?
Well, I hate to say it, but I did spend quite a lot of time unconscious on the ground, so if there was a cutlass, it's not one that would have been immediately present in the front of my mind, but plenty of daggers and at least one rapier.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Well,
You
as I
seem-
always say, when you're about on the verge of death and you survive and you look at death in the eyes and say, "Not today," you got to get yourself a drink. So, barkeep, finest ale around. And then I look at Pipra and point to her and I'd be like, "She'll get a light dose."
You just,
Sorry, we don't want
Exactly.
a re-happening of what happened in
you,
Lear.
you hear a shout
True.
from across the room. You can't really make out where it's from because there's so many patrons in this tavern right now, and it just kind of acknowledges you. Doesn't really say anything specifically, but you get the idea that it'll be there soon.
So, Tormin, you've your stare. That was you recognize these, or is this just your intuition that this was an experienced group?
I mean, just looking at the craftsmanship, I mean, there's a different when it comes to making weaponry. You have your typical run of the mill, pull it out of the forge, thwack thwack, here you go. Hopefully it cuts through something. But then you have the
Insight
people
check.
who take some time and really in detail put in the work. And I mean, looking at these look like fine crafted swords for a very serious group.
I would like to insight check, but not for lying, just for like their sentiment, because that 1,000-mile stare is the same one I had the last time we were in a tavern together with
Okay.
Tormin. So
Should
I'm gonna.
So
should
that
I do
okay?
a deception check?
They're doing insight, so you're fine.
Cool.
Both of you do
Oh.
an insight check, and I guess Kavian as well if you're.
Oh my god.
wanting to-
Ah,
I didn't
well,
do well. I got a
Hera,
12.
would I ever lie to you? Come on.
Never. Never ever.
That's a 1
Well
from
done.
Hera, an 11 from Kavian.
A
That's
12.
well from Pipra.
Wait, Pippa rolled? Oh, a 12.
Yes.
Would I
Wow.
ever lie to you guys? Come on.
Yeah, you guys are all buying it.
suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, these are fine.
Fine.
Real quick, did we long rest?
You haven't yet. It's nighttime. It's
Okay.
evening.
Okay, so Tormin's meeting up with us basically as we were getting into town?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
As you're getting ready to go for the night or whatever.
Yeah.
So what is the what is the game plan? What did the council say? I basically just walked in, collected my earnings, and walked out because I knew you guys would catch me up.
Did
Of
you get our
course.
note?
Note?
We left
well.
a note for you to know where to meet us.
Oh no, that must have went to the other Tormin. Darn. Very common name in these lands.
Oh, very common, I can imagine.
Of
Well,
course.
We're heading north. Well, we have a mission of couriership to the king of the Cloud King of Ithaca.
Ooh,
We're
a
making our way
Cloud
through
King.
Elabad.
And how does one get to the clouds exactly?
Well, with a large enough catapult, anything's possible.
Interesting. And what are we doing up there?
Well,
We're delivering a message from the Mystic Council.
All right. Is that it? Is 100 gold just to pass on a message?
Oh no. We'll
no,
receive
no,
much
no.
more once we return.
We've been told that we're to receive more. Yes.
To just pass on a message, I mean.
The
Yeah, come-
100 gold was for Sin, correct?
Yes, for the rescue of
Yeah.
Mystic J, I believe.
Oh,
They seemed most gracious about it.
fantastic. We are going to be able to have drinks across the land. Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
Well,
So,
maybe not quite in Elabad. It's quite the war zone. We're gonna have to be pretty stealthy to make it through safely.
no, don't
I
worry.
can
Stealth
only imagine.
with this cloak on and these silent hooves, silence is my middle name. we should-
Tormin Silence. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your last name.
It's just Tormin.
Tormund Silence.
It's just
Tor
Tormund.
Silence Min. Okay.
Tor Silenceman. There we go. You can call me the shadow in the night.
After you finish that and you say it like all confidently, you just hear like a chuckle behind you as like the barkeep has arrived and he heard that and he wasn't there for it, but he's got a bunch of things in his hands, and you turn and you see an Ezru human, male, older in age. He's got darker hair that's kind of graying over and a short beard, same color as the hair, kind of darker with some gray splotches. He's got a pretty hardy look to him. You kind of get the idea that in his younger days, maybe he was a warrior of some sort or something like that. And he puts down onto the table a couple of mugs, and then the last thing he puts on to the table, he slides over in Pippa's direction, and it's like a mug, but it's small, as if it was like for a kid, even though you wouldn't really have kids in the tavern. But
the child-sized ale.
The child
You have a sippy cup. You have a sippy cup.
Slides it over to Pipra, and then he turns, and as he walks away, you kind of hear the kind of thud because he's just a more built kind of dude as he walks away.
So the great thing about that, Pipra, is even if you knock it over, the ale will not spill out. It's a fantastic invention.
Truly, that does seem like exactly.
It doesn't
fit
actually
for
have a
bar.
lid, guys.
Oh no, I'm fully role playing sippy cup.
All right.
I glare at him, and then I just want to freeze his drink.
Ooh.
Oh, is it not? Is it not a lid right now?
You're freezing my drink. Okay.
Yes.
It is now. if
So
that's okay.
as I drink, is it completely frozen, or is it like when you have ice at the bottom of a cup and you try to lean back too far and the ice hits you in the face?
Solid, yeah, and then it just gonna smack you whenever you try and drink it.
The entirety of the ale is just gonna come out in ice form and hit you in the face.
Barkeep, I think you didn't defrost this beverage.
He doesn't even acknowledge you.
Oh,
I kind of like lean back and I just start licking my ale, kind of like.
Oh boy.
hey, I'm just saying, if adventuring doesn't work together, maybe we could go into the ale pop business. We could make a lot of money for that.
Possibly.
Just still sitting back and.
I mean, we're simply cracking open a cold one with the boys.
Exactly.
Tormund,
Yes.
would you say that this rapier is nicer than yours?
Well, I did. DM, could I do a check to see if it is a more powerful rapier? I did a history check.
Go ahead
So
and
I-
do an investigation check.
How's
Ooh.
my investigation?
Probably not great.
Can I be
Plus
helping
2,
him,
actually.
Can you
like examining them together?
Yes, so you can either both roll investigation or Tormund can roll twice.
What's your
I'd
Plus
like
twice.
to also help. If
Well,
that's
I'm
okay.
plus
Everyone
6,
crowded
but
over the
every
floor.
time it comes down to something like that, I roll really low. So
I'll
I'd rather you roll
I'll just roll
twice.
then. By the way, Cody,
Yeah.
I'm rolling dice because they go faster.
Mhm.
But I won't lie to you. Would I ever lie to you, magical
Roll it.
DM? All right,
Roll it.
DM roll
investigation
insight.
plus 2. That is a 10 and a 13, so 15.
15. Okay. So that rapier is, while crafted and kind of forged much better, and the detail is a lot fancier, and it's worth a lot more. At the end of the day, when it comes to its ability in combat, the rapier that you currently wield, given its where you got it, it stands up to that kind of test, and they're pretty level in that regard.
Okay.
So more
Well,
of a status symbol than anything.
I look back and forth, and internally I think about how nice it would be to find the person I'm looking for and ironically threaten them with their own company's blade, and I'm like holding both of them, and I'm like, You know, they both will do the same damage in the end, but this one's a lot more flashy. And what's life without without a little bit of flash and flare? And I just take my old one and I throw it up to where I want to try to throw it to where it just goes bing and just like hits right into like a post and like stays still.
Bonus points if you get it into a dartboard.
Roll a d20.
Okay.
Oh.
An 11.
Okay. You go to throw it, and as it leaves your hand, you almost like lose control of it. It starts to like slip a little. You don't have the best grip. And as it leaves your hand, you kind of like pull back like you're expecting it to like hit someone and go wrong. And you watch as it goes up and lodges itself into kind of like part of the ceiling. And then it kind of like moves a little bit, like it kind of creaks a little. And then you're waiting for it to fall, but it doesn't end up falling. It just kind of sticks there, but it doesn't look like it's in there very good.
Oh no.
I'm like I said,
sword up
like
there.
I said, life's about being flashy. And then I put the new rapier.
As he's saying that, Pipra, you're going to notice that underneath, where in the ceiling where the rapier is, at the table underneath, there's a group of hardier looking dudes who are of human origin, and they're all around the table with their mugs, and it looks like they're doing some gambling of some sort. But they definitely look like the kind of group that you don't want to make upset.
Anyways.
Hera, could you get that down?
Let me see what I can do. Is it I'm looking through my spells list right now.
I was wondering if you had one that would work better than my shape water, because that's my only utility kind of.
Shape water into a hand and grab the sword.
So I do have Feather Fall at the moment. I do have Feather Fall and exactly 0 spell slots with which to cast it, because I nearly died.
Yeah.
And I also use my sorcerer points to not die.
I'll just shape water Tormund's frozen mug back in liquid, go and grab it, and then set it next to him, then it goes back into his mug.
Okay.
I feel like all you're doing is you're having the water go up, but the water is like dripping on them now.
No. It's not dripping.
I can I can priestize it. I'm gonna
priestize it. You're a priest
the
now?
pronunciation of this. I'm not going to. Thank you. I'm going to do that.
Prestidigitation.
That's the one.
Thank you. Right. So as the water is like kind of dripping down, I'm clearing it up. I'm clearing it up before it falls onto them. With that, I'm just. It's a double.
It's a very complicated assembly.
You guys are going all out. All right.
We are.
What is Kavian doing in this situation?
We're avoiding a fight when we have low health and no spell slots.
I'm full health in all 3 spell slots. You
want to find them all by yourself? Whole table?
I could charm them.
Engie Gabblers?
I'm a charming person. I'm just saying. I'm pretty charming. And what's life without a bar fight once in a while, Really gets.
As you say that, from behind you, a couple tables over, you hear this hearty voice call out, "Did someone say bar fight?" And you're gonna notice, because Pipra, you're sitting like opposite of Tormund, you're gonna notice as you glance over the shoulder, this dude who yells that takes his mug and he turns and he just smashes it over someone else's head. And then that person gets up and he looks at him and he kind of shoves him off of his chair and he falls back onto his back and the chair tips over, and then the people at the table behind them all get up and they kind of look at the person who just shoved them and they went over to that table and they start kind of throwing punches, and now it just sounds like a big scuffle over there.
I finished my drink.
Tormund, what have you done?
I am downing my drink.
Kavian jumps right in by the sound
chugging
of it.
this sippy cup.
I go to down my drink, but then realize it's frozen.
No,
take
it's back to normal now.
Right now anyway.
No, it's still frozen. I take it and I chuck it into the fight. It's gonna be like a weighted mug. I want to aim for someone's head.
Is the sword currently out of the ceiling right now?
Yes,
you guys have it on the table.
Okay.
So
Great, cool.
Tormund, I want you to roll for an improvised weapon attack with your mug that you're throwing.
If I'm throwing it, would I add dexterity to that?
Can I
go ahead
minor
and add your
illusion
dexterity
me and
modifier.
Pipra
Yeah.
out of the
Okay.
scene right now?
I was
plus
gonna
2.
say, can we
I
just
minor
sneak
illusion me and
out?
Pipra away from here? Can I just invisible us real quick?
Okay, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Let's see what Torvin does.
I hope
I'm new to
I'm really
DMing.
nervous. I'm afraid if I throw a roll a natural 1, I'm gonna hit Kavian instead.
He'd just glare at you.
Oh, that's an 18. No
18?
lie. 18 plus 2, 20.
20. Okay. So you're gonna throw this mug. That was to hit, right? Or was that
Yeah, that was
okay.
that was a regular roll.
roll?
Yeah, no,
a-
18
Yeah, I was gonna say
damage.
roll a just roll a normal d6 on the damage. See how much it does to someone.
That could
no,
kill them.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
D6 of mug damage.
It was a good throw.
Oh my god, that's a 6!
Oh, that's a
People are thinking I'm lying. I really am
So
not.
you're gonna turn and you're gonna grab this mug kind of by the
I'm
handle.
gonna look at the mug and be like, this is metaphorically empty. Yay!
And you're gonna kind of like it's almost gonna look mesmerizing in the way that you kind of take your finger and kind of loop around the handle to kind of get it spinning in a way, and then you go to like launch it almost like when you have your finger in like some kind of like circular thing and you try to spin it as fast as you can. That's kind of like what you're doing with the mug, and then you let it go and it goes off at faster than it seems possible, and it ends up going over to the table that the rapier was just above that you guys removed, and it is going to hit in the back, like square in the back. It's going to hit this really large dude who kind of gets pushed forward and kind of grunts, and then he's just going to kind of turn and look over his shoulder directly at you, giving you this look of like this intense stare, like right into your soul.
I look at him, I look behind, and I point back, and I'm like, it was the man that started it back there. Came right over my shoulder.
Is now an okay time to go ahead with that minor illusion?
Did I see Tomnus?
So
Okay.
you did not see what just happened, as you are immersed in this bar fight, and at this mug hitting the back of this dude, he's gonna kind of put his hands on the table, and you can kind of hear the thud. He's gonna stand up, and his chair's gonna kind of come out, and then 2 of the other people at the table are also gonna stand up, and now they're looking at your table, and now I need you guys to roll initiative.
Oh, let's go!
Oh, God.
Oh god, I'm gonna die to a bar fight.
No, you're not. You're just gonna go unconscious, and then we'll be fine.
It's 10.
Well,
That is a 9 for me.
Okay.
Bar fight. You know, now we
One second,
the
one
mug
second.
saga. The
Uh,
mug saga continues. We have the big
does.
mug, and now we have the murderous mug.
who got the highest of you guys?
I did with 12, I think. Unless Tomnus.
No, I got a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Tumnus and I are the same.
Hera,
I'm
what
a
do you
10.
get? 10? Okay, Tormund and Pippa roll again.
That is a natural 1. Got that out of the way.
21.
21.
The good news is, in the coming fight, there is no chance for me to wild magic everyone out of existence because I do
Okay.
not have spells to cast.
All right, so as these guys get up, that first dude that got hit in the back, he's the closest to you guys as he wasn't facing you. And he's going to turn and he is going to go right towards Tormund, as that is his entire focus. And he's gonna take nothing in his hand, just this big meaty fist, and he is gonna try to just swing it at you and
Not
see
the face, not the face! That's the moneymaker!
and see what he can do. So it's gonna be a 12 to hit.
Ah,
which-
my armor class is 13.
There you go. So he's gonna go and swing, but with all the power he's putting behind this, he totally forgets to actually be accurate, and so he goes to swing and he kind of misses, and that kind of puts him off balance a little bit, while the one behind him, the next one kind of in line, who's not nearly as like big and buff and kind of strong, but still somewhat of a pretty hardy constitution, is going to kind of take their mug. They're going to kind of swig the rest of it, and they're going to kind of hold it in their hand, and they're going to take aim at Tormund as well.
Oh my god.
And it is going to be a 6 to hit, which isn't going to hit, so he's going to miss that as well. Probably shouldn't have taken a swig right there and gotten himself all loopy. So he goes to throw it, and it just kind of goes over your head and just kind of shatters on the wall behind it. And then the third one, which is the last of them.
Oh my god,
I
how
promise.
there's so many?
It's just 3 of them. The third one's going to come to the kind of right side of that guy, left side for you guys looking at him. He's going to kind of make his self known, stepping out from behind him. And from back there, he is going to take this little dagger. It's like a mini dagger. Like a dagger's already small, but even smaller. But you can tell it's kind of used like a dagger, almost like just purely for throwing purposes. He's going to take it, and he's going to try to fling it in Tormund's direction. And it is going to be a 17 to hit. So
oh my god, yes, that is.
It is going to do 6 points of piercing damage.
Oh my god, 6 points? That's more than a third of my health.
As he throws this, and it sticks itself kind of in your like upper, in between like your shoulder and kind of the center of your chest, kind of in this area. It's not going to pierce anything important, but it's gonna stick in there pretty good, and it's definitely gonna hurt a little bit. But that puts it with Kavian. At this point, Kavian, you're aware of what's happening. After that, you hear the shattering of that one mug. You kind of turn and see what's going on.
A little help. I took too much dip on my chip.
You know what? Yeah, I'll go straight to the big guy that's dealing with dumbness, and I'm just gonna go straight for a punch in the side of his face from behind.
Okay. Roll to attack.
18.
18 hits.
I think it's just automatically 5 damage. Yeah.
All right.
Automatically 5 damage.
5 damage. All right. So as you kind of come up, he's not expecting this, as all of his attention is on Tormund, and he's just gonna get clocked with a fist just kind of to the left side of his face, and you're gonna see he has that like spit kind of fly out of his mouth a little bit, and he's gonna kind of stumble over almost. Like this is a pretty big dude, so the fact that Kavian was able to get him to even stumble a little bit kind of like catches your guys' attention with how powerful that punch was. He's gonna kind of look over and kind of glance this look over of like more angry kind of emotion, like he is just getting even more riled up and upset.
I spit on him as well.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
The disrespect, I love it.
All right, Hera, what would you like to do?
Okay, a couple of questions. Have me and Pipra been noticed in a hostile way by any of these guys?
So the attention is not on you guys.
Cool. Am I taller than any of those guys?
You are... Remind me of your height exactly.
I'm 6'4".
You are going to be taller than the second two, but not the really big guy. Which
Alright.
You're nearly as tall as, maybe an inch or two less.
Okay. Can I try and, if I stand up on the table, can I try and intimidate everyone out of a fight? Is that something I can try and do?
It's something you can try, certainly.
Okay, I'm going to try
Can
then.
someone intimidate someone out of the fight?
Okay, I'm going to try it. I'm going to...
Yeah.
my staff's out now, so
Okay.
I'm at the ready to fight if need be.
Okay.
And this is my try. Oh my god, natural 20. 22.
All right. So how exactly do you picture yourself doing this?
I'm going to stand up on the table. I've got my staff straight down like Gandalf, you shall not pass.
Okay.
I'm trying to have a drink. And anyone who spills another drop of this ale will be paying for any damages they do, plus whatever drinks I deign I need to recover from your incessant annoyance. Do I make myself very clear?
As you see this, the entire tavern has fallen silent. Like that, you could hear a pin drop as everybody, even those across the room, like mid-fight, like there's a guy on the ground who's got like his shirt being grabbed, and there's another dude like mid-punch who just kind of looks over at you, and everyone's just frozen in place, like listening to you on the table, like saying what you're saying. Even the barkeep who's behind the bar, who is like in the middle of like kind of cleaning out a mug, is just kind of looking up at you with this kind of like just a look you wouldn't expect him to have, of almost like just slightly unsettled. And the big dude as well, who's right there in front of you guys, kind of looks up, and instead of the anger in his eyes, now he's got more of this kind of like being kind of talked down on by like a motherly figure, and kind of like feeling like upset and like disappointed for like letting that figure down or whatever. And so he kind of like he goes from being super tense to just kind of like letting up a little, and he's going to be the first one to kind of move. He's just going to kind of like slowly kind of step away and then just kind of go back to the table, and he kind of motions for the other two of his guys to kind of go, and they just sit back down at their table. And the other people, they just slowly like the one dude who's got the other guy by the shirt just kind of drops him, and you can hear him like thud to the floor as he falls. And they all just kind of go back to going about their business, and they all stop fighting at this point.
I would like to make ale pops for everyone as they go back to their tables.
I'm just gonna go with my staff. Thank you, and sit back down. Just...
All right. Well, at this point, you guys are no longer in combat. Tormund, you do have that thing sticking out of your shoulder still.
I'm gonna sit down. Adrenaline's still rushing because 2 out of 3 dodges.
As you sit down and the adrenaline kind of fades, it starts to hurt more and more because there's not as much adrenaline going on.
I sit down. I could have had them. Kavian and I had. Okay. Oh. I grab like the nearest mug and I like bite the handle as like thing, and just.
Are you okay, Tormund?
Yeah, I'm fine. Fine.
As he says fine, you can see like the blood kind of soaking. It's getting like a bigger like little thing of blood that's kind of soaking into the clothes a little bit.
Oh dear.
Just a flesh wound.
Not something that appears life-threatening, but ripping it out, there's going to be some blood that comes out.
Oh god. I have a dagger in my current possessions. I have a couple actually. Could I cut a tiny bit off of my riding cloak, just from the very bottom, just enough that I could wrap it around the wound and kind of stop it?
Yeah.
From bleeding? Okay, cool. I'm gonna do that. Because I have no way to heal this otherwise.
Okay.
That'd be a medicine check, right?
For actually wrapping it, yes. I was gonna have you do that.
All right, let's give this a go then. Well, my luck was spent on the nat 20. That's an 8.
So, as you take this a little bit that you kind of cut off, and you go to kind of wrap it on, like around the kind of chest and kind of tie it up. You're definitely not the greatest at it, and you're not entirely sure if what you're doing is even helping. But at the very least, you did get a little bit of pressure on it, which is going to kind of help. But there's still a little blood kind of soaking, but it's better than nothing.
I'm just going to go, this is what you get for starting fights, and I'm just going to keep going.
Roll an intimidation check.
I bruise like a peach.
Yeah, roll an intimidation check.
Again?
Yeah.
It's an 11.
So as Harris says this, and it's kind of like, this is what you get for getting into a fight, you kind of get these like this almost like PTSD-esque kind of flashback to young childhood when you were in trouble from your own mother, and kind of that feeling of like just disappointment, and you just kind of feel a little down.
Yes, mommy. I mean, ma'am.
What? No.
I would like to as it's like wounded up, and I'm like, you know what would be better? Pipra, I have an idea. Where's the old rapier? Is it still in the ceiling?
It's on the table, so I'm just gonna look down and point to it.
I'm gonna grab my old rapier. I'm going to I'm going to put the blade into the ale. Could you freeze it again?
Sure. I'll freeze
As
it.
it's frozen, I just pull it out.
I know what you're doing.
I just start at the end of the rapier, just start licking my ale pot. Much better.
Roll a performance check.
Okay. That's performance is good for me. That's a +6. That is a 14 + 6, a 20. Dirty.
So as you do this, and as you start going like you kind of catch the attention of those around you, and everyone's kind of looking back, and they kind of have these like amused looks on their faces. They're all kind of watching you, like they're all like intently focused on this now because they've never quite seen anything like that. And as you're like going and looking, and they're all like kind of looking into their mugs and like trying to figure out like how they could try something similar. Some of them are like taking little daggers and they're trying to like poke it in there, but you know nothing's happening because they don't realize how it happened, and everyone's just kind of taken aback by this.
I want to spot a dude like way off and just freeze his mug ale as he's trying it, so he actually pulls it out. He's like, huzzah!
He has his dagger in there, this room, or this person across the room, and all of a sudden he's like super intently focused on it, and then all of a sudden he just kind of calls out from across the room. He's like, he just kind of makes this exclamation of like aha, and he kind of pulls it out, and on the top of his dagger is like this mug, circular shaped kind of frozen thing of ale. And then some people kind of look over at him, and they're kind of looking at him now, and they're so intense, and now everyone's looking in their mug and they're trying to like poke in there and kind of see what they can do. And you've just caused this like mass kind of intent focus on trying to do what Tormund is kind of doing.
I actually do have the ability with pre-digestion spell to chill it as well. I'm gonna give it another name every time I try and cast it.
Pre-digestion is one of my favorites so far.
That's my favorite. Prestidigitation. Yeah, you know what? Pre-digestion. We'll call it that.
Yeah, it's pre-digestion spell. I'm just gonna look to Pippa and go, yeah, I'm with this. So I've got that, and I'm just gonna look for people pulling their daggers and other pointed sticks in the ale, and help them out with making popsicles.
Okay.
I would be too.
One after another, everyone who's kind of sticking their weapons into their mugs is they're all pulling out these like frozen things of whatever they're drinking at the time just on the tips, and they're all like starting to kind of lick it like Tormund was licking his, and they're all just kind of amazed by this. They've never seen anything like it. They're just having a grand old time. Meanwhile, the barkeep from behind the bar, he's just kind of got this really confused look, just kind of looking at everyone, and just this look of confusion at levels that you didn't think was possible, in terms of being confused and just like taken aback by what is happening, because he's this kind of older, hardier kind of dude, and he's just kind of watching this happen, and he just does not know what to think.
Just remember, I yell out to the group, just remember, these are the world famous Pipra's fabulous freezy pops. Tell the land where you got them. I'm making you famous, Pipra.
Thanks.
Your name is going to be spoken throughout Blutora.
Ale pop
How do you
is
feel?
just what I want to be famous for.
Exactly.
Just gonna exaggerate, just help Tormund out here. Pipra, everybody! Sparks over Pipra because pre-digestion does that.
Press the digitation.
I'm googling things that sound like prestidigitation now, and I can say it properly. I'm not going
to. Is this a bar and inn, or is it just a bar?
It is a tavern much like the one you were at in Learston. So the bottom floor appears to be all kind of bar-esque, with a bunch of tables and stuff, and then you get the sense that the upper floors probably act more like an inn.
Okay, then I'd like to go up to the barkeep.
Okay.
And ask how much it'll be for 4 rooms.
Is it okay if I follow just to help out with any haggling?
Yeah, you guys can both go.
Hopefully
over.
the prices are better than
I
Learston.
know.
All right.
All right.
Of course, yeah.
What are you guys gonna do?
I'm just gonna call the
Excuse me,
bartender.
barkeep.
He's facing away from you, kind of towards this back wall opposite of the bar, kind of tending to these various drinks and whatnot. And he kind of turns. He's like, "Oh," and he kind of turns and he looks at you guys and he kind of approaches and he's on the other side of the bar and he kind of looms a little bit, like he's fairly taller and well built, and he's kind of got this slightly intimidating aura, in a way, just because of his stature. But now he's facing you guys.
How much would it be for 4 rooms for tonight?
4 rooms? Well, I've only really got 2 open. But, call it 4 gold for the 2 rooms.
I guess that'll work.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
I'll
Alright.
pay the...
He reaches out his
4 gold.
hand, and when he reaches out his hand, you see this like larger hand than you expected. Pretty like meaty, and you know, some of the dudes in this tavern, they're pretty built and
Big, meaty claws.
and yeah, and he kind of takes the gold and he kind of reaches behind him. He just kind of tosses it over on that back wall in like a little table area opposite of the bar. He just kind of tosses it into like a little spot over there next to some other random loose like silver coins and whatnot. And then after that, he's gonna kind of be looking in that direction as the gold kind of lands in that pile. And after, he's gonna be silent for a moment, and then he's gonna kind of turn back. He's like, "Oh, right." He reaches down under the bar and pulls out a single key. He pulls out this single key and he lays it on the counter and he's like, "So all the keys work for all the rooms, but don't tell anyone else."
Disturbing.
And he just
Oh my
slides
God.
it forward and like, "This'll work for both of your rooms. The first
All
2 on the left when you go up the stairs."
God.
Good to know.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you.
And he's not even gonna acknowledge your thank you. He's just gonna turn around and go back to doing what he's doing.
All right.
I'll walk back over to the others.
just
Be
gonna
like,
give
they
Pippa a
only
bit of a
had
look
2
like-
rooms. So, Tormund, you and Kavian get to bunk up tonight.
I look over at Kavian. Slumber party?
All right, then.
All right. Where are the keys?
Oh, there's just 1 key, but don't tell the other guests.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well,
All the
we can
keys work
certainly
on
say
all
that
the
security's
rooms.
I'm
less.
sorry, that doesn't seem legal. That seems highly.
We only paid 4 gold for the rooms for the night.
at
We should be.
the hearing of you saying the word legal so loud, you just kind of notice that somebody from another table, they kind of hear that and they quickly get up and they run out the door. They just dip. They dip.
Keep your voice down.
Do I get a look at them before they go, or are they
roll
that fast?
a perception check.
Okay,
I wonder
perception check
how many
coming up.
warrants that guy had.
Okay, perception check coming up. Oh no, they were quick. That's a 5.
they were quick and you did not get a look at them. You just heard the sound of like a chair scooting as somebody gets up, and you just kind of see a figure just booking it, and then the doors loudly kind of open up quickly and then close again.
Let's go chase after him. I want the DM to improvise all of this.
All right, cool. I'm going with
We
Tormund.
have-
No. Well, I'm going.
We're
think I'm
all
gonna go to bed.
wounded and out of energy. We need to rest up.
I've had
I
2
can
ale
just-
pops and I'm feeling good.
I can just tell him his mother's disappointed, and he'll believe it.
Where are we? Where are we? What is the game plan for tomorrow morning?
Well, if I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to look for an armory of some kind as well and I'm gesturing to the fact that half of my clothes have stab marks in them, and the other half are perfectly okay, but I don't want stab marks in them. I'm just gonna go, I'd rather not experience acupuncture like that again.
So maybe would it sound good to spend the morning buying whatever we need? Now that we have all a nice little wealthy sum of gold, and we have a future of gold once this deed is done. So maybe spend the morning getting what we need, and then by maybe noon, continuing to head north.
That sounds good to me.
We came here in the hopes of finding better prices for horses than in Learston.
How much were the horses in Learston?
It was 100 gold for 1
gold.
horse.
100? Did you spend that?
No.
We did not spend that.
Okay. That is highway robbery. Oh
I
my
agree.
goodness. That seemed illegal. I look around the
Nobody's gonna budge
perception
this
again.
time.
Ah, dang it. I thought I could get another. Well, okay. Well, maybe we can find a horse. I would love to maybe get some potions, if our compatriot was that close to death, maybe and with Darcy's not here currently, maybe a few health potions would be very beneficial.
Certainly, yeah.
We'll
that was a
definitely
little
give
too
town
close.
a look around
All right.
before
Well,
we head out.
until then, have a good night. Kavian,
Good
come
night.
on. We're going to start with a pillow fight and then braid each other's hair. Come on. I walk out.
I'll be right there. I want to go to the barkeep.
Pipra, doesn't Tormund have hair all over his body?
I don't want to picture it.
It's a lot of braiding. I'll be right back.
I'm just gonna. Oh my god.
I'm just picturing the two most hairy men in this continent and just braiding each other's hair.
Do you think that on the chest there'd be like ponytail or? Because I'm gonna be honest. Mental image is going to do more damage than the daggers did earlier.
It would be quite the sight. Perhaps next time we're in a fight, he can just flash his chest hair and maybe it'll do mental damage.
Do you think that there's a chance that if they fought shirtless, any rapier might get entangled in the hair that simply stops
The hair
them
just
from...
wraps around the blade.
Exactly.
It's
That's
so
what I'm saying.
I
Maybe
left to
there's
get
some
water
merit
for
to it.
30 seconds. What are you talking about?
Your chest hair.
Tormund's
Stop
chest hair.
talking about my hair. That's personal.
You're gonna braid it with Kavian.
Yeah, but Kavian knows my deepest, darkest secrets. Me and Kavian go way back.
Way back to about 5 minutes before we met.
Yeah.
Let's head up then.
You know what? I will take your lead.
I could braid your hair if you want. Long rest time.
I think I can just sleep outside. It's fine. I'll find some place.
Okay, so
I'm used to it.
the three
long
of
rest
you
time.
head upstairs and Kavian stays behind, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Can I do my long rest? Is that okay?
We'll follow you guys and we'll come back to Kavian in a second. So
Cool.
you guys are gonna approach the stairs. There's one set of stairs to the right of the door or to the left if you're facing the front door. And that was the stairs that you were told to go up.
You head up and look for the first two doors on the
Alright.
left.
As you head up the staircase, you see a hallway, moderate length, before it looks like it kind of turns and goes off to the left, down a little further. You see the occasional door just kind of dotting the wall, like it's mostly just built for efficiency of fitting rooms in there. And you see on the left side, there's two doors before the hallway kind of turns, and there's more on the right and stuff.
Try the key.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna open, but I'm just hoping there's no one in it.
Okay.
Because I'm
Are
pretty
you
sure this
trying
is the ones he told.
The first one on the left or the second one?
First one.
Okay. As you go
I'd like to just push the second one to see if it opens without a key.
Okay, so as you go to push the second one without a key, it doesn't budge. Does appear locked. On the first door that Pippa is trying with the key, you go to put the key in, and the key slides in. But when you go to turn it, the key doesn't turn.
Well, that's odd.
That is odd. That would mean that the security is
Try it in the second one.
You go to try it in the second one, and you go to turn it again, and it doesn't turn.
Are you sure it was on the left? Maybe it was on the right. Maybe it was on the right.
Maybe I could
I mean, he said that they work on all the doors.
Okay, well, let's try the ones on the right.
I'll try it.
Okay. You go, which one on the right are you doing? There's 4 that you can see.
The first one.
You go to slide it in, it doesn't even slide in.
Does anyone have a lockpick?
I could.
Mine is that bad with keys.
Predigestion up a lockpick for Tormund, and I just pass it to him.
Okay.
All right. I've never done this before. Let's try it.
Tormund.
What am I rolling?
Tormund.
Yep.
Tormund.
Sleight of hand.
Tormund. This is my
Sleight of hand.
inspiration. Tormund.
Tormund.
Ooh, could I give myself bardic inspiration?
You know,
I
that's
think
a
I
good question.
I think I can. Can you?
Can you?
I need to know. I won't do it this time, but I'll search it.
Okay.
While we're on KV and stuff, just for time's sake. All right. Sleight of hand.
Google
Come
says you
on,
cannot.
Gary. I can't.
As according to the player's handbook.
I just pull out a mirror and it's like, you are beautiful and you can do this. Mirror back in the cloak. That is a 14 plus 4. So 18.
Okay. So as you go to pick this lock, after a little bit of kind of fumbling around, you're trying to give off the impression that you've never done this before. In reality, you just haven't done this in a little bit. And so it takes you a little bit, you're a little rusty, but eventually you get it and it kind of creaks open and you're going to kind of play it off like you don't know how you did that, I would imagine.
Hey.
I also have I believe I have a lock picking set, but yeah. I'm good at this.
I'm gonna snap the lockpicks back out of existence again, just so I have that last
That's a really nice. What is that spell?
Well, it's pretty much an I can do things spell. It's
Yeah, but
definitely
what's the name of the spell? Like, if I went to a library and wanted to learn the details of the history of the spell, what would the name be?
You'd look up the spell called abracadabra. If you go for that, yeah, I'm sure something good would happen.
Isn't that a killing curse?
That's Avada.
Oh, dang it. They're so close, honestly. I get them mixed up. One spawns things into existence, the other one kills people. Just a flip of the tongue, and it's going to be.
They're both doing things. One is just spawning a corpse into existence. I mean,
yeah, but if you accidentally stutter, you might accidentally kill grandma. So there's that.
Can we have a moment of silence for the fourth wall?
Hey, you have to put in Blutora now in history that Avada Kedavra is now canon. It is a thing.
You find ancient runes in a cave of a boy with glasses and mark on his forehead.
Up in Lethio, up in the mountains of Lethio.
Just gonna very quickly predigestion the fourth wall back because I can do that, or minor illusion, whatever.
Oh man, that was weird. It must be the ale pops. I don't know. I'm feeling a little lightheaded.
Wow, they went to my head. Must be all the blood I lost.
Same here. I have a stab wound as well now. All right, I'm headed to bed. Where? Oh yeah, Kavian stayed down. Oh, well, that gives me time to get ready for our pillow fight. Toodaloo, and I just close the door.
All right. The other door is still locked at this point. So you guys, Tormund got himself into that room, but you're just there.
I'm gonna prestidigitation up another lockpick, and I'm gonna try it myself. I'm going, well, I mean, if Tormund did it, how hard can it be?
Okay, roll sleight of hand.
I know, I'm so sorry. Okay, sleight of hand. 2 seconds. I forgot which page that was on. Sleight of hand. Here we go. Oh no. That's going to be a 3.
You are gonna go to try and pick this lock, but you have no idea really what you're doing or how to properly pick this lock. And after a little bit, the lock pick that you pre-digestioned up just kind of fades. It just kind of fades from existence, like it didn't even want to continue. It just yoded itself back into just the air. And then like mid picking, and then you're just holding nothing, and you're like, okay, well.
I'm just gonna look up a Pip and goes, I think I might have given Tormin a little bit too little credit.
Can I give it a try with the?
Shall
I
I
will.
snap them back in?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
snap
give it a
another one
try.
back in. Here's it.
I'll
Here you
give
go.
it a try.
That's 6.
Yeah.
That's right. I can do stuff.
So you're gonna be trying the same thing, and it's gonna go very similarly. After a while of working on it, not getting anywhere, it's just gonna kind of fade. It's just gonna fade into nothing, and you're just gonna be left just looking at your hands like, well, that didn't work.
Should we call the barkeep over? Do you think they'd help us at all, or?
I'd like to try the key again.
Okay.
More aggressively this time.
All right. You go to put the key in, and you're really trying to turn it and be aggressive with it. And after a little bit of turning it, make a strength check.
I don't think that's
Natural 20!
As you're going to turn it, and you're trying to be really forceful with it, the key is going to snap in two.
With a natural 20, I still don't get this door.
Well, listen,
Okay.
if it was 10 or below, it wouldn't have broke, but it wouldn't have opened either. So you break the key in clean in two, and the part inside
outcome?
falls out, and then you have the handle, and you just look down and you see the front of the key, and you are 100% sure at this point this key was not meant for that door.
Okay, so
But you broke the key perfectly.
It was a very clean break.
Yeah. Sheared right off. 90
so
degree.
we might be having a problem. Also, nice muscles.
I wish I would have felt this strong with the mug.
Okay, so this does make me curious as to what the key was for, because oh my god,
I know, now I
sure.
feel bad.
I'm just gonna like put my hand on Pipper's shoulder and go, "Don't worry, it's okay. I couldn't get it either."
Can I
Should we get the bartend?
Can I shape water
To a key.
the same key?
The
Does it
same
have to
key that
keep
you just
broken in the
broke?
lock?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're familiar with the shape of that key, so you can do that.
Let's just try all the doors.
Oh my god. All right.
All right. Are you just on the right side going from door to door?
Yeah.
All right. As you go from door to door and you try this shaped water kind of replica of that key, you get a lot of the same. It goes in some of them, but won't turn, and on others, it won't even slide into the hole. When you reach the fourth door on the right, all the way down before the hallway kind of turns, and you go to put it in, you hear a voice from inside, and they kind of like a startled voice, like, who's there? And you kind of like pull out and you kind of scurry away quickly.
Wrong room.
Not realizing. And through the rest of the doors, as the hallway turns, and you see 3 more on either side. Tried in all of those, but it's the same thing. It doesn't go in any of them.
Then what could the key be for?
I don't know.
See, I was tired before, but now I'm curious.
Tormund's already like tucked into bed with a face mask on.
Yeah,
You know.
Tormund, you can. Well, I'll wait till everyone else leaves. But yeah.
Okay.
At this point, we're gonna go to Kavian downstairs. So what are you doing,
Yeah.
Kavian?
DM
I
just
wanna-
doesn't want us to long rest.
Oh no,
I want to
here I
go
am.
to the barkeep.
Okay.
May I ask, hey barkeep, I got 2 questions for you.
Oh, he turns
One-
and faces you.
One of them is, how often do you have a bar fight here?
Oh, well, every day, maybe twice, sometimes 3
Alright.
times on a good day.
I'll be back tomorrow then. Second question.
Yeah.
I have an issue with my room. There happens to be a vermin of sorts in there, and it's gonna be hard to sleep. Is there a chance you could swap room with someone else?
I mean, all the other rooms are booked up. There's no openings. You could try to talk to one of the other patrons in one of the other rooms, but I can't do anything about that.
I'd like to do that then. Give me a name of a room that's got just one guy in it or something.
The 2 rooms I gave your friends were the first 2 to the left. You could try the first one on the right. The patron for that room was an elven man. Didn't catch the name, but he's got darker hair.
No.
And he's a fairly tall fella. Looks fairly well off, but that's about all I got.
It's gonna be an
Oh,
easy
well,
job then.
well,
Alright, I'll go there.
Oh
Thank you.
god.
I'll check out that room.
Right, so you're heading upstairs?
Yep.
All right. As you're heading upstairs, you see Pippa and Hera going to go downstairs, and you guys are kind of passing by each other, like almost like the meme of the 2 people looking at each other out the car window as they pass by.
Just gonna go.
Or
Nice,
just the
Kavian.
Spider-Man's pointing.
You guys not fun yet? What's happening?
Just
Well,
having a bit of issue with
yeah.
their key. And I'm gonna hold up
Well,
the
I can help it.
broken
I can help
key.
out. I know how to open doors.
Okay.
Without the axe would be preferable, but yeah.
Oh, you're helpless then. Good luck. Keep walking.
Okay, so you approach the top of the stairs as Pippa and Hera kind of fade out downstairs. And you see in front of you the hallway, 2 doors to the left before the hallway turns, and there's 4 on the right.
I want to take the first one to the right. That was one with the elf in, I
Okay.
believe. I knock on the door 3 times
All right.
and wait for an answer.
After you knock for the 3rd time, a moment passes, and you just hear a voice from the other side. I'm coming! And he walks up to the door. You kind of hear him approach, and he opens the door. And as he opens the door, you kind of see this tired-looking elven man, taller, darker hair, much like he described, taller than you, and more of like a kind of lean build, not very buff or anything like that. And he just got this tired look on his face, and the way he's kind of dressed and more like kind of sleep attire is even still like a little, gives the aura of being a little wealthier, kind of like what the barkeep alluded to. And you get the sense that this is not a fighter of any sorts, but maybe a merchant or something along those lines. And he opens the door and he's like, "What? Can I help you?"
I just barge into the room and close the door behind me.
Oh my god!
So you barge in, and as you kind of barge in, and you almost like push him off with your arm, he's gonna like fall back. He's gonna be like, "What the?" And he falls down on his butt as the door slams closed, and now you're in there. And he's be like, "What are you doing?" And he kind of scurries back, still kind of like on his butt. And he kind of backs himself up to the wall, just kind of watching the situation.
Okay, we got 2 ways we can do this. The first one is to take my 10 gold pieces and you leave and find another place to sleep. The second one, and I grab my hand axe.
He's gonna kind of get this look of horror on his face. He's gonna like pause for a second, just kind of almost in shock a little bit before he scurries to get up to his feet, but he's not doing it the best. He's definitely nervous and like anxious and stuff. And he runs over to like a side table, and he grabs this kind of almost like not quite a sack, but almost like some kind of container holding like maybe his travel belongings and stuff like that. He might kind of sling over the shoulder. He grabs that and then he runs up and he just runs out the door without even stopping to get the gold or anything like that. He just gets his stuff and he runs out the door.
Oh, sweet. I'll just put the coin in my pocket again then. And I go to sleep.
Okay. So Pippa and Hera downstairs. As you reach the bottom of the stairs, the tavern is a lot less full than it was previously. There's only a couple of tables that have anyone at them, and it seems to, for the most part, have cleared out because of how late it's getting.
Okay. Can I see if I know if there is another inn, just an inn or another tavern that could host people for the night, or?
Are you asking someone, or are you trying to like remember?
I'll ask
or
someone, but not the barkeep.
Okay. So as you look out over,
Can I request someone in particular?
uh,
See the tough guy from earlier that was like really embarrassed, the big tall guy? Can it be them?
he's not there anymore.
Okay. All right. So I'll just go with someone then.
Okay, so in front of you, in this room of like roughly 10 tables, like you saw before, it's a lot emptier, so it's easier to see. On a table far on the left wall, you see 3 individuals sitting at the table. You can't make out much about them other than that 2 of them are of human descent and 1 of them is elven. And they're all men, and they look to just be, kind of friendly conversation or whatever it might be, just kind of drinking. And then in kind of the center of the room, you see another table, and there is a single individual at that table with a kind of hood up, so you can't really, and they're not facing you, they're kind of facing the bar, which is opposite of the stairs. So you can't really make out anything from that person, other than they seem of kind of smaller build, not very tall or big or anything like that, and they're just kind of hooded, sitting at this table alone. And then, of course, you see the barkeep up at the bar.
I'll ask the hooded figure if that's all right.
Okay. As you approach this hooded figure from behind,
I'll go. Are they currently drinking something?
they, as you're approaching, you don't notice that they're drinking anything, but I do need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save incoming. Here we go.
Oh.
That would be a. It's not telling me. Oh,
It
a
shows
10.
yeah.
What does a 10 do?
What
You
does it?
automatically
10.
die.
So, as you're approaching and kind of trying to study this figure, see like who they are, what they're doing, and whatnot, this figure, in a flash before your eyes, kind of removes themselves from the chair. They kind of slide out without going to a full stand, kind of gripping the table, and they swing their right leg around, and it's going to trip you, and you're going to fall down to the ground. And at this point, Pepper, you're a little further behind. Hera's going to fall to the ground, and as the trip happens and Hera's falling, this person's going to pull out a rapier and going to point it at you as you're prone on the ground. And you don't get the sense that this was like them attacking you, but rather this person's very on edge, and this is kind of like they thought maybe you were going to try something or whatever, kind of approaching from behind him. And so as they have this rapier pointed at you and you're kind of like looking up at them now, you can see that this is the hooded figure is a woman of elven origin. And this woman has kind of darker hair that kind of comes down to not quite shoulder length, but kind of somewhere in between, maybe like the jaw and the shoulder, something to that effect. You can kind of see like the pointed ears kind of tucked in the hood a little bit, and the eyes appear to be these kind of deeper blue, and this woman seems not roughed up in the form of like scars or scratches or anything like that, but rather like kind of the look in the eyes is kind of indicates that this woman has kind of seen some stuff, and she appears younger, but kind of more experienced, I guess, and something to that effect. And as you're kind of sitting there and kind of studying her in this kind of moment, I want you to make a perception check.
Perception. Oh my. Oh.
Both of us are just Tara.
Just Hera.
And I'd
Oh,
see
I
Tara
hate
fall and just be
this might
quickly
be-
on my way over.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be a 14.
Okay. So as you're studying this woman, you take a closer look at kind of the weapon that's kind of pointed up against you, and you notice that it's similar to the rapiers that you found from the bandits, but it's not quite the same in that it's got some intricate markings of its own, but where the other blade might have these wavy kind of lines going up the blade and these kind of flowing kind of intricate details and stuff, the details on this blade are more squared off. And
Okay.
so rather than being all curvy, it's more square, and it's kind of got similar designs or similar attention to detail in the blade, and the hilt's really nice. And this is a pretty decent weapon that is kind of being pointed at you, and you kind of get the impression that somehow this is related to the other one. You're not sure how. It's not the same, but it's definitely 2 and 2. So
Okay.
you kind of notice that, and she's going to kind of call out down to you. She's going to, as she's doing that, and before she speaks, she's going to raise her other hand, and in her other hand, as she raises kind of her offhand, a dagger is going to come from underneath her sleeve into her hand, and she's going to kind of point it in Pippa's direction to kind of signal to Pippa to not move, to just kind of stay in place right there, as she's kind of pointing down at Hera. And she's going to look at Hera, and she's going to inquire, "Who are you?"
Hera Gold Cretian, you'll not have heard of me, but I mean you no harm. Easy. I've had enough weapons pointed at me for one day.
Roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion check incoming. Here we go. That's that's persuasion. So that's going to be an 18.
An 18. Okay.
Mhm.
So as she listens to you, and she kind of glances over to Pipra, and what would you say you're doing right now, Pipra?
Well, if we're not in combat, then I'll kind of point at her, subtly cast True Strike, and just kind of ask her who she is. So, True Strike. You point a finger at a target in range. Your magic grants you a brief insight on the target's defenses. On your next turn, you gain advantage on your first attack. Roll against the target, provided the spell hasn't ended. I just want to kind of know her defenses and be prepared to fight her if need be, because she has threatened my tall girl gang.
Okay. What kind of look do you have on your face?
Stern.
Stern. Okay. So as you kind of point at this woman, and as you're pointing, I would imagine is when she's kind of talking to Hera. And
yeah,
so
as
she
I'm
doesn't
pointing,
see you
though,
point.
I am gonna ask her who she is. Yeah, it doesn't matter if she
Okay.
sees it. That's just the action I have to do.
Okay. So as you point, you come to see that with this individual, you are, should you enter in combat, you would be in over your heads. At least just the two of you. You would definitely, it'd be unlikely to come out on top. And you probably should try to avoid combat with this person. They're definitely experienced and very good at what they do. So you're going to call out, what exactly was it you called out?
I was gonna ask her name.
Okay. So she's going to kind of study you two for a second, and then she's going to take the rapier, and she's going to kind of twirl it up and then back into kind of where she has it on her side. And then she's going to take the dagger, and she's going to kind of move her arm up, and it's going to kind of slide back into the sleeve. And then she's going to look over at you, Pipra, and she's going to say, "Who's asking?"
Oh, do we get to name our little party now?
Give me a moment to think of my reply.
Is it okay if I like talk to her in the meantime, or
Yeah.
is this okay?
Well,
I go.
I'm not gonna take long. I needed a second.
No, you're fine.
My reply will be, my name is Pipra, and I'm just asking as a concerned friend, seeing as how you pointed your weapons at my friend.
She kind of looks you up and down and goes back to kind of attention back towards Hera on the ground, and then she offers a hand to help Hera up.
I'll take it.
Okay. She helps you up, kind of cautiously still, as having not really known you guys yet. And as you get up, she kind of
lean down and get my staff back up because I definitely dropped that on the way down.
She's gonna, as she helps you up, she's gonna kind of take a step back just to make sure there's adequate distance between you, and she's just gonna kind of look at you again and just be like, "What do you guys want?" Kind of this unsettled, almost dodgy kind of tone to the voice, like she's maybe on edge.
I'm gonna hold up the broken half of the key and be like, we're trying to figure out what to do about our room.
She's gonna
sorry, go for it.
She's gonna kind of look at the key, the broken key, and give maybe like a confused look, and she's gonna kind of look over at the barkeep, and she's gonna be like, well, you could probably ask him.
I was intending to.
Well, yeah, as my friend Pipra has already explained, we were just trying to inquire about accommodation, but now I'm curious. What would make someone point a weapon so quickly?
In my line of work, well, you just always have to be ready.
What brings you to Belto?
Business.
This is more in like a comforting way, as like I could tell that they were like just startled rather than everything when they pointed the thing. And I go, the kind of business that has you on edge, I'd imagine. Can I offer you a drink?
She looks over the barkeep and looks back at you, and she's like, no, I don't drink, especially not on the job.
Very well. And the job, is it something you'd like to share with the party?
Something I can't share openly.
And then this is a very closed conversation.
Does she have a drink?
She does not have a drink.
I was gonna popsicle it with her.
Yeah, I was gonna pull out a popsicle. You look like you need this.
I was literally gonna get them a drink, 2 popsicles.
Okay, so I'm gonna call the barkeep. I don't know, just gonna get a small, or like an ale, and then I'll do that and hand it to her.
Okay, so before that happens, as Hera's trying to kind of coax her into speaking, she's gonna say, I tend to keep my patrons' business private, and as she says that, barkeep comes over the drinks, and as you go to kind of do this trick that you did before, and you're kind of waiting for a reaction from her, she's not budging, and she doesn't appear interested whatsoever in what you're trying to do.
Damn. Okay.
Your loss.
Your patrons. I'm not going to pry, but your line of work. I am interested. What could possibly have you so on edge? We're mere travelers here. We have no interest in harming you or harming your well-being. We come to you as mere friends.
Well, I offer my services to those willing to pay a handsome sum for me to track down targets and do with them as my employer may wish. And in this line of business, sometimes you're the tracker, sometimes you're the one being tracked.
I understand. I understand. I can't help but notice, and I apologize if I inquire too deeply too quickly. You may simply refuse, but your rapier is very beautiful. I
At
encountered
the
one
at
weapon.
the sound of you mentioning the rapier, she's gonna kind of take her left hand. She's gonna kind of grab onto it in kind of a readying herself kind of situation. She's not gonna pull it out. She's just gonna kind of be ready just in case, as
Okay.
she's giving off this very distrusting of you guys kind of aura.
I'm gonna like do that because I can see her making the motion. I'm just like,
Mhm.
it's not needed. Like just a kind of comforting. It's not needed. I'm just asking. I encountered one earlier today, and I point at the wound across.
Mhm.
Well, wherever I got hit. I think it was in the upper arm or lower leg. Depending on what weapon it actually was.
Mhm.
Right enough. Encountered one earlier today, but it didn't look like the gang had the weapons long. If you catch my drift. Maybe, and I'd like to show her the rapier that is in my possession.
Okay. As you pull it out, she's going to go from being this kind of startled on edge to like in like the snap of a finger. She's gonna kind of approach and she's gonna take the blade, like not take it in a way of like grabbing it for an attack, but taking it in
No,
like
I'm holding it like
yeah,
that for her to.
she's gonna
inspect,
take
yeah.
it like that, and very quickly, like surprisingly quicker than you would have expected her to kind of just change like that. She's gonna take it and she's gonna kind of study it a little bit, and she's gonna kind of look up at you guys and inquire, where did you find this?
We were attacked not long ago. This was the weapon of the assailants.
What did these
Although
assailants look like?
Well, common riffraff bandits to the best of my reckoning, but it didn't, between you and me, look like they'd had the weapons long. I believe them stolen. My original intent was to investigate them further, and seeing your own weapon, I figured, well, you're a good person to ask.
She's gonna kind of look at you guys for a little bit in kind of silence, and then she's gonna kind of toss it back to you without. She's not gonna hand it. She's gonna kind of toss it like that for you
I'm just
to catch.
the apple.
And she's gonna kind of glance down at her own rapier, and she's gonna kind of look back up and inform you guys. Well, the rapier you have right here that you were attacked with belongs to the Curio, is a bandit group here in southern Blutora, although not often do they find themselves this far south. Curious, as it kind of ties to why I'm here.
Ah.
Where
I
was
see.
it you were attacked?
Some miles away from town, unfortunately. We were ambushed, and I sustained quite heavy injuries. I could point in the general direction, but I'm sure that it would be inaccurate. Is it okay if I insight check what she just said about
Where it's from?
about her involvement with them?
Okay, yeah.
I'll just state as well, as they're having a conversation, so she's not very interested in me at all. I'm just studying her
Okay.
and everything she says.
It
Okay.
wasn't a high roll; it was a 9.
Okay. Go and roll an insight check yourself, Bipra.
What was the name of that group that you said? How do you spell it?
Curio? IRN?
Yeah.
KURIO.
Okay. And you said the blades they had were similar to the blades that we have, but a little bit different.
You specifically, yes.
Okay.
I rolled a 17.
Ooh,
So
okay.
as she's speaking, you are able to tell that throughout the conversation, this whole time, she's being very cautious and very careful, but you don't get the indication that anything she's telling you is a lie.
Okay,
She's
cool.
just being very selective and careful.
Okay. And the nature of your job, I'm making the assumption, and I apologize profusely. I do a genuine gesture. I'm being genuine. I apologize profusely if I've assumed wrong. You're a sellsword, no?
Eh, some people might call it that. I don't usually refer to it any certain way. I just stick to what I do. If somebody needs somebody else dead, or if somebody needs somebody else captured, well, that's what I
What
do.
about protection?
Not one for protection unless the pay is good enough.
And how good would the pay have to be?
Well, it depends. Depends on the job.
So,
Say someone was trying to make it to through Alabet.
She's gonna
I'm
kind of
kind of nodding to Pipra because she's exactly read my thoughts.
she's gonna glance over at the barkeep, and then she's gonna glance at the front door, and she's gonna kind of get a little closer to you guys, and she's gonna little lower tone in her voice, trying to be a little quieter. And why do you need to get through Elabet? She kind of squints her eyes a little.
Insight check that again? Can I insight check that?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll just say
Oh my god.
our business
okay.
is our own, but we do require safe passage through.
She kind of repeats the word safe. She kind of chuckles and lets go of her rapier. She kind of eases her grasp. And she's going to take her chair and she's going to kind of scoot it back, sit down, and she kicks her feet up on the table. And she kind of sits there with her arms crossed. At this point, she has let up a little bit. She's not as tense and gets the feeling that you guys aren't probably going to do anything, try anything with her. And so she kind of sits back down. What did you roll on that check, by the way, Hera?
2.
Yeah, that is...
So, yeah, what I was going to do, I'm not going to do anymore.
Okay. So as she kind of sits back down and kind of crosses her arms, she's going to kind of keep looking around the room. Like, the way she's looking around every so often and just kind of darting her vision, you get the idea that it's something that she has kind of trained herself to do, to always be studying the surrounding and always be ready, just in case. You never know what's going to happen, kind of a thing. And so she's just constantly in this like high alert kind of state, even mid-conversation. And with her arms crossed, she's going to kind of say, well, like I said, if the pay is good enough, but I'm here on business currently, so I can't take 2 jobs at the same time.
Well, maybe we can talk about that. If you don't mind divulging it, does your business stray far from here? We intended already to stick around for at least the morning tomorrow to, well, shop and get ourselves supplied with things or other. And if a service of a sellsword was something that we were to purchase, then maybe we could come to some form of agreement that where you could complete your current, we'll call it an assignment, and accompany us further.
Give me just a second. I'm looking into something.
I'm just wondering if this is the girl that Tumnus has been looking
Yeah,
for, and
yeah.
he's gonna have a
Yeah.
panic attack if he sees her with this. So I just want that to happen.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking this might be. I was thinking it might be someone from my backstory at first, but no, I'm pretty convinced it's not.
I knew it was known from my.
Yo, we're all iceberg characters. We just know nothing.
Hey, we're cool. I'm cool as a cucumber right
So
now.
with her feet kicked up and her arms crossed, she's going to look at you guys and she's just going to say, well, I'm looking for a human woman, Arbor Eye, and she continues on. What I know of her is She carries a very specific cutlass. And, well,
Are Tumnus and this chick looking for
Yeah.
the same chick?
Yeah, I think they are. Although we don't know that though, do we? Because
Yeah,
Thomas
I
never said anything.
wasn't in character. This
She's-
is just me out
Yeah,
of
this is out.
character.
This is out of character. Yeah.
she's gonna
This is us
kind of she's gonna
doing game theory.
squint her eyes at you guys after she says the cutlass.
All right, a cutlass.
And-
Well,
Well, she's gonna squint her eyes and she's gonna kind of continue talking. She's gonna say,
We don't react to that because we don't know anything. But yeah,
her name is
except Thomas had said earlier if I'd been stabbed with a cutlass. He asked, so I can go.
okay. So
Oh,
I
well,
wouldn't, but you might be.
I'm gonna go. Well, of all the weapons that I've been assailed with today, I can't say a cutlass is one of them.
she's gonna study you guys and she's gonna ask, have you heard the name Isabel?
History check. Or would it just be a straight no?
You can roll a history check.
I'll go for it as well. Is that okay?
Yep.
Cool.
Chad, I need some PVOGs.
19.
Write that down. Write
would
that
be
down.
a 5. I'm getting my
What do you
bad
roll,
rolls
Pippa?
out.
19.
Okay. So, upon hearing that name, it's not a name you're familiar with. Not a name you can correlate to anything, tie to anything. And you're kind of left in the dark. But you do get the feeling that that name is definitely the very person that this woman is looking for. And she's not kind of going on about something else. Like, this is related to what she's doing.
Okay.
Just thonk face and gonna say. No.
And you've been told that she's in this area, I assume, or are you two traveling?
Well, haven't been told so, but I'm a, well, respectable tracker. Somebody doesn't want to be found, well, people hire me to find them.
Certainly,
And-
yes.
So far, that's led me here. She kind of glances around again, and she's going to kind of point at the rapier you have again, and she's going to say, and that their weapon? Well, that is just the kind of sign I was looking for.
I'm going to give her slightly more information. Wait. Can I insight check her on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Praying for one good insight check this conversation. There we go. Natural 20.
All right. So as she's speaking about this, you become aware of the indication that she is not usually in these parts. She's pretty far from where she usually kind of goes about her business. And she's searching for this particular woman, which you kind of make this connection in your head that this could be the same woman Tormund is looking for, but you're not too sure because you haven't heard much from Tormund. You've just kind of gotten this idea.
Mm-hmm.
And you also can tell that she is, again, she's not lying to you guys. She's being very honest and just kind of selective with what she shares. But the kind of tie, the link between the woman that she's looking for and the bandits that attacked you, that kind of link is made, and that they are involved, and whether it is kind of a part of that bandit group or maybe something else, they definitely link together, and that is a big kind of lead in her search.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry, go for it.
I was gonna say, well, if the woman you're looking for has anything to do with those bandits, we're fairly certain that their hideout was nearby the road that they ambushed us on.
She's gonna glance up at you and look back down, kind of towards the ground, and she's gonna say, well, the thing with the Uncurio is that they're no mere bandit group. they can be found as far west as the coast off of Morafell, as far east as the border between Odelia and Elabet. They span a really, really wide region. And I've never seen them this far south, but looks to me like they may be trying to expand.
Well, that would make 2 groups trying to expand.
She's going to give you a kind of questioning look, a kind of confused look at that.
Gonna try
what do you say?
I'm gonna try and go. It's a long story. I'd tell you if you wanted to join us, and that's like a kind of persuasion, like see if she wants to accompany us, kind of thing.
She's gonna kind of muster up again. Well, like I said, the pay is good enough. I'll take most jobs, but
Not till you finish your first one.
my current task pays very well, and it's something that I've been working on for over a month now. I've tracked this person all the way down to Maratea. Feel like I'm very close. And she looks again at the rapier that you found when you were attacked. And so she kind of leans forward and kind of goes from arms crossed to kind of arms on the table, and she's going to kind of look up at you guys. And she's going to say, so, if you really wish to seek my assistance, then you may feel free to join me along my quest.
Did we just get a side quest?
I think we just got a side quest. All right.
Where
I'll
would
go-
we be able to find you tomorrow? If we were interested in assisting with your quest.
And along those lines,
She kind of chuckles and she'll say, oh, I'll find you.
We'll need to convene with our party and see if the detour seems worth it to them.
She's gonna kind of look you both up and down again, and she's going to go into her pocket, and she's gonna pull out a little medallion, kind of like the one you guys were given from the Mystic Council. However, this one is different, as it doesn't have the kind of Maratea colors and kind of banner on it. Instead, this one is of kind of a silver base, and it has in almost a kind of plus formation that kind of gets a little wider at its ends and kind of gets a little thinner on the inside. This kind of black shape similar to that. And then on top of that, in the center, there is a dagger in like a blue color that kind of matches the color of her eyes, kind of in the center of this. She's going to pull this out, and she's going to kind of toss it to you guys, almost like flipping a coin with the thumb and kind of into your general direction. And once you catch it and you're kind of like studying it and observing it.
Can I vibe check it with Arcana the same way I did my own?
In just a second. As you catch it, she's going to look up at you guys. Look you over again. She's going to say, "My name's Tenneth." And at that, she's going to turn, and in kind of a hurried walk, she's going to walk out the door, not leaving room for any more conversation.
Can I vibe check it?
You can vibe check it.
Let's go, vibe check. That's not a good vibe check. It's a 7.
So, you, as you kind of study this over, and Pipra as well, you'll be kind of looking over Hera's shoulder, and you're...
I was gonna say, I'd want to look at it too.
Yeah, I'll pass it to...
You're both kind of looking at this, and you're both aware that it doesn't have any magical properties or anything, but it's kind of like similar to what you guys were given, more so a kind of badge of office, maybe the kind of, maybe for lack of a better word, business card of said person, much like you guys were given from the Mystic Council for working for the council, something along those lines. And you do get the indication that this is not a very common one. Like, this is probably for her specifically, not any group, but her own kind of personal, maybe,
A
marking.
little calling card. Okay. I'm gonna pass it to Pipra to also investigate if she'd like it, and I'll go. Well, I'm gonna see if we have any luck at the other table. That was interesting.
I'll try the barkeep and I'll kind of look at it as I walk. I don't know if you have anything left to investigate about it, but I would just kind of look at it. I don't know if you want investigation or perception.
You're looking at the medallion?
Yeah, because Tara passed it to me. Like I said, I don't know if there's anything left to gather about it.
What I just explained is what you'll both gather from looking at it.
Okay, so then I'd just walk over to the barkeep, see about getting a different key, or kind of explain what happened with the door.
As you approach the bar, he is facing the wall away from the bar, and he doesn't notice you approach.
I'd call out to him.
Okay. Call out to him.
Hey, barkeep.
Yeah. He turns and kind of goes back to his kind of intimidating over the bar, kind of listening.
Key to our room didn't work, and it broke. I'll hold up the broken half.
It broke. He takes it in his hands and he kind of studies it closer. He's like, oh, wrong key. He throws it over his shoulder, the two pieces, and they just kind of cling off in the distance. He goes into his pocket and he pulls out this key ring. And when he pulls out this key ring, you can see, usually key rings do a lot of jingling. This is not going to do any jingling because there's so many keys on it. There is so many keys around this key ring. You have no idea what all these keys could do. But he pulls out this key ring, and it's almost stiff because there's so many and they don't have room to move. He's going to kind of wiggle one off, and he's just going to pull it. Like the little hoop that it kind of goes through, where it kind of latches around the key, he's just going to pull it to where the little hole in the key kind of breaks off to where it couldn't go back on there. He's going to kind of stuff it back into like his one of his pouches, kind of on his side. He's going to look at this key a little closer. He's going to give it to you. He's be like, right key. And he just gives it to you and goes back to doing what he was doing.
I'll motion to Hera the new key.
All right,
And
I'll
then
follow back
point
upstairs
towards the
then, yeah.
stairs.
Yeah, I'll follow back upstairs.
I think it was less of a find where this key goes and just DM wanting us to go back downstairs.
Yeah.
I'll
Fourth
try
wall
it
broken
again.
again.
And the first door on the left.
All right. First door on the left. All right, you go and you turn.
Wait,
you,
no, is that
you,
one
you,
Tormund's?
you go.
No!
You go and you unlock the door.
I don't remember which one he
It
You
was
picked.
put
the
the key
second
in.
one was the one that Tormund went in.
you-
Okay.
you put
First
the-
one. Then.
The first one is the one Tormund went in.
Whoa!
It is. You put the key in and you go to
Tormund
turn
helped
it.
out when we were in the second one.
Yeah, I'm
And
pretty
you,
sure.
it was the first one. And
You stinking... Fine.
you go to turn the key.
We're gonna see Tormund with the face mask.
And as the key goes in and perfectly unlocks the door, and you guys go to push it open, not realizing this light is gonna kind of pour into the room, kind of over Tormund. But because Tormund has this little face mask on, Tormund's not even gonna budge, just out cold, and you guys are just gonna kind of notice like.
Chest hair? Okay.
I know he's making some noise. It's just not coming through
Yeah.
that well. It's so funny to see though.
Just me. I'm just gonna go. Pipra, this is Tormund's room.
Okay,
Okay.
try the second one.
The second one, yeah.
Hello, Harley.
I mean, I want the fancy loafers.
Hello, Harley. What?
Yeah, so let's try the second one. We'll just go in there.
This doggy
Okay.
really wants to get petted.
So as you guys exit the room and you kind of close the door behind you quietly, you go over to the second one, put the key in, opens it perfectly again, swing the door open, and as the light kind of pours in, you see that this room has a couple of beds in it, a couple of different stands by them, some kind of desk in the corner, and a pretty standard kind of room arrangement for what you would expect. And there's no windows on this room or anything like that. All of the light that's in there is from the hallway itself. And you do see on one of the nightstands, there's like a little kind of candle holder as well to kind of have some light should you need it.
Okay. I'm going straight to bed. Yeah, I'm going straight to bed. I'm
I'll
gonna
braid Hera's hair before she goes to bed.
my entire heart.
It's in a nice French braid now, just straight down the back.
Get updated fan art of that one.
All right. So everyone's asleep.
Long rest time.
Long rest
All right,
time. Let's
everyone
go.
do a long rest.
Let's go.
It's so nice to see full
Oh,
HP
full health,
again.
full spell slot.
spell slots. Yay.
My sorcery points, they're back.
Okay. So as you guys are asleep, and as it kind of approaches daytime, everyone's kind of out of it. Tormin, you are going to be startled out of sleep when you hear a voice call out to you. And
Mommy?
that voice is going to say,
That's not me.
"Get up." And you feel a cold feeling across your neck.
Oh,
What would you like to do?
I'm freaking out right now. Eyes open. Do I see anything? I haven't moved yet.
You see your eye mask is what you
I was gonna
see.
say.
I'm just gonna let me just slowly take off the eye mask. I slowly put my hand up.
It is dark in here, and you can hardly see anything. However, you are able to make out that there is a figure at your bedside. You don't know anything about this figure, and they are holding some kind of weapon against your throat. And it is still, you get the idea, it's still, somewhere over the night. Most people are asleep, kind of a thing. And you have just been startled awake. They're going to...
I have no quarrels with you. What?
She's going to repeat.
What would you like?
Get up, and it's a woman voice. You're aware this time. It is the voice of a woman, and she's gonna kind of back up just a little bit, keeping the weapon kind of pointed at you, so that you're able to get up.
Can I tell
Cody,
what
please
kind
look
of
at Harley real
weapon
quick.
it is? Where is Harley?
She's not on the camera. It was somewhere else.
She's
Dang
sitting
it.
on the couch, but there's a pillow leaning against the other couch from that couch, like about to fall off the couch, and she's sitting on that pillow with just looks like she's about to fall, but sitting on this pillow.
That's cute.
And I had to have him look at it.
Can I tell what kind of blade it is?
You can make an investigation check with disadvantage because it's in the dark.
Could it be a regular roll because I had my face mask on, so my eyes are used to the darkness? Nah, I'm just playing. Disadvantage.
I'll put a picture. Of
Oh
Harley
my
in
god! Okay, I need to show you this, so that you don't think I'm calling hacks. Here we go. Here we go. I don't know how well this is going to be. Oh no! I rolled a natural 20 and an 18.
Ooh.
So
All right.
I don't think you can really see.
So you're fine, I believe you. You were able to tell in this kind of state of being spooked awake, you're able to tell that the weapon being pointed at you is a rapier. And this rapier is a weapon that is definitely more capable than yours, or even the bandits. And it also has these kind of intricacies similar to the one that you found from the bandits. And it's kind of really well made, a lot of attention to detail. And it's a pretty serious, pretty valuable weapon. You are able to tell that it is not a part of any bandit group that you're familiar with, any group for that matter that you're familiar with. It seems to be kind of a one of a kind, maybe, type of.
All right, now I'm completely lost.
Are you still in bed, or are you up at this point?
I'm gonna slowly get up, hands
Mhm.
hands raised. What would you like? What is the meaning of this? I'm just trying to get my beauty rest.
There's going to be a
I have
moment.
no quarrels
There's going to
with
be a
you.
brief moment of silence, and she's going to say, "I know you." And she's going to continue on in a second. And I know what you're a part of. Couldn't help but notice it downstairs earlier. She's going to keep the weapon pointed at you. She's going to reach into her pocket with the other hand, and she's going to pull out a kind of little scroll of sorts, and she's going to toss it in your direction for you to catch.
Catch it.
Okay. As you do that, she's going to take her rapier, and to the side, she's going to swing it in like a flash of light, kind of at the snap of a finger, just really quickly, swing it over to the side, and as she does that, you hear and a candle lights at the tip of the blade as it swings over the wick of this candle to illuminate the area. As it illuminates the area, you see this figure is a hooded figure, not really built very large, kind of a smaller built, but definitely pretty seriously equipped with this kind of lighter, more roguelike type of like an armor deal, some various like leathers and like a cloak and what have you. You're able to make out that this woman has darker hair and that she has blue eyes, but that's all you're able to tell at this point. And you can see the weapon clearer in the light as she moves it to kind of point back at you and kind of just keeping the distance kind of way. And she kind of gestures towards the scroll with the tip of the rapier for you to open it.
You're good. I like you. Okay. Open the scroll or read it.
Okay. As you open the scroll, it is going to have a sketched, kind of like with a pencil, in the kind of centerpiece, there's a sketched image of your face. And on the top in kind of written out kind of this really nice handwriting, really flowing, really like kind of official sort of deal. Top it says, to those capable. And then below the picture, it says, this individual is wanted for connections to, and it kind of goes into like a kind of bullet point almost type of deal, where it has a couple of slashes and it lists a couple things. And it's going to say smuggling, torture, thievery, banditry, and then underneath that, it says, by the order of the Empire, and beneath that it says, 5,000 gold pieces. Alive. And that's all it says.
Only 5,000? I feel like that is an absolute just mockery of who I am. Never mind. Listen. I take the scroll, I rip it into many pieces. Listen. As I do that, I'm going to try to cast Charm Person. And as I'm ripping up, I'm going to listen. I am not the person that you are looking for. It's not even the same picture. We have different
She's
noses.
gonna
The
interrupt
bridge of the
you.
nose.
She's gonna interrupt you while you're talking, and she's gonna kind of. I know that's you, but then she's gonna take the rapier and she's gonna put it away. But I'm not here for that. And
Oh, what a twist!
And then she's gonna continue. Met a couple of your friends downstairs. The two women. And well, made a fair impression. I don't feel as though I should cause any trouble in this group. However, I know why you're wanted. The posters don't say, but I keep good tabs and I have good intel. I know what group you were a part of in the past, and I know that that could help me on my current task. You see, you and I, not all that different. The woman you've been looking for, name's Isabel. Looking for the same person. Probably have different reasons, but nonetheless, could use somebody of the Risliki to help me out. I know how far your history goes back with the young Curio. It's probably personal at this point. Either way, she is going to pull out of her right side. She's going to pull out a little kind of sack. It's kind of weighted, and you can hear the kind of jingle of some coins and stuff. She's going to toss it over to you for you to catch. And then she's going to say, you make sure that you and your friends are willing to help me out. I search here, and let's just say there will be more where that came from. She kind of gestures towards it. We could split the bounty on it, and at that, without waiting for a response, she turns and you see her kind of step onto a table, and then she kind of jumps up and pulls herself up into this gap in the ceiling that you didn't notice previously. And after she gets up there, she kind of moves this kind of false wooden plank panel back into place that fits seamlessly in there, so as to not appear like there is a kind of secret trapdoor kind of thing in there. And she's gone, leaving you
Not even a goodbye.
leaving you with the bag of coin in your hand, the ripped up scroll on the floor, and the candle still lit.
Can I just say, why is Tumnus's bounty sound like it's more than what we're gonna make from this mission?
Yeah.
You don't know my bounty.
Oh, I know we don't. Out of character.
5,000, pathetic. Between the things I've done. So I sit there. So I have the ripped up scroll. I have the money. What was the other thing you said I had?
The candle was still lit.
Oh, the candle. I'm gonna go over to the candle. I'm going to carefully burn the rest of the pieces of the scroll. I don't want any evidence of that.
Oh.
Okay.
Sneaky.
So every single piece dusted into ash, gone. I open the pouch. How much gold is in there?
So as you open the pouch and you kind of pour it out into your hand and you take a closer look at it, you see that there is 50 gold pieces and 30 silver pieces.
I sit back on the bed, kind of stare out into space, and I'm just I'm trying to put two and two. And I don't know her name, right?
She didn't
didn't say
give
her
you
name.
a name.
What
she
was
said
her name?
she's-
Because me and Pippa know. I'm just trying to.
Tenneth.
Tanith.
Thank you.
Tanyth.
Oh, I spelled that wrong.
Please put it
TAN.
in the group message
Done.
because I need to get my notes up.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't have my notes up.
And the name Tenneth gave was Isabel.
Isabel. Ezabell.
Ezabell. I'm just gonna sit on the bed. I'm just gonna be like Isabel. I'm gonna pull out my I have like under my cloak have like a little book, kind of like holstered to like a strap, kind of like how like you would have like in like a old detective movie they'd have like a gun underneath the like
Mhm.
armpit like holstered. I have that, but it's like a book. I'm gonna pull it out. I'm just gonna write down details. Isabel, my talking about, mentioning bounty has reached down to the southern coast, and then mercenary ? Or mercenary working together ? And I'm not going to go to sleep for the rest of the night because I have a lot of thinking to do.
Lucky for you, it is nearly around the time where everyone starts waking up. It was pretty deep in.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna put on my cloak. I'm just gonna get an early breakfast, I guess, then, and just think about everything.
All right.
I
So as you exit the room and into the hallway, it's kind of dimly lit as it's early morning, and you see the familiar sight of a hallway with the various rooms and whatnot, and you can hear from downstairs. Sounds like there's maybe a patron or two this early on, but not many at all.
Is the same barkeep there?
You're still upstairs right now.
Oh, sorry.
Who made their way down?
This is just Tormund, who has woken up before you guys because of this encounter.
So yeah, I'm just gonna make my way down into the open area.
Okay.
Go up to the bar. I'm assuming no one's here.
There are two people in the general kind of bottom floor of the tavern. They're both at the same table, and they're kind of off to the side. They're not near the bar, and this familiar sight of the barkeep is currently at the bar.
Do the two people look sketchy? I'm kind of on edge right now because
Make a perception check.
I was infiltrated in my place of slumber. That is a 7.
All right. So
Wouldn't have happened if Kavian just wanted to have a pillow fight.
I know.
for what you can see, they just seem like normal patrons. Maybe just have some normal jobs around town, and they're just here to catch up a little bit before starting the day. No real suspicions about them.
I'd like to start getting up now as well, just
Okay.
like that. I'm
Same.
gonna kind of look and go, oh, this is nice. Just at the braid.
I go up to the barkeep. I look at the barkeep. How's it going this morning, my friend?
Well, another day.
And then I look at him. I'm like, I need you to do something for me.
Yeah.
I need you to get me all of the bacon and eggs that you have. Now hold up. Now you might have thought I meant a metaphor of get me a lot of bacon and eggs. No, I want every last strip of bacon and egg you have in this place, please. Thank you.
You able to pay
I
for
know
it?
where that's from.
How much is that?
Well, he's gonna kind of turn and kind of look over at his kind of set up and kind of look around like he's never gotten an order quite like that before. He's gonna kind of look back at you and be, well, my whole stock? He's questioning you.
Just tell me the price.
Well, yeah, 10 gold pieces. I should cover it.
I throw down 12, hand it to him, and I sit back. Also an ale too, please.
Oh, you got it. And he scoops it up, kind of brings it with him. This time he doesn't throw it in the pile, but instead he kind of puts it into like a little pouch, kind of in he's almost wearing like an apron in a way that almost has like a little pouch or a couple of them, and he drops in one of them. It kind of clings with some other coin and whatnot, and he kind of disappears into the back. And you can hear there is another set of voices back there that you aren't familiar with, as you haven't seen them out front, but you kind of get the impression that they're just people who kind of work in the back and work on behind the scenes kind of stuff.
Books put away, books hidden under the cloak. No one can see it.
Okay.
I'm just sitting there. It's just a lot going through the mind, kind of just rubbing the eyes, just thinking of everything, thinking about what she meant exactly about teaming up. Kind of know her intentions, but fully don't, and how I'm gonna get my way out of this and all of that. So, just gonna wait for my food and my ale to come.
Okay. And the rest of you?
We'll be making our way down.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
gonna make my way down. I'm gonna get a glass of water and like cool it down and just like hand it to Pipra.
Okay.
I just love
Thank you, my love.
I want to go and sit right now next to Tormund on his table.
Okay.
You sir. I had an itinerary planned of ghost stories and hair braiding and pillow fights and secret telling.
I'm sorry, I was going to finish another ale, but I forgot where the room was. So when I went up and checked to find you, I couldn't find it, and I went down to ask, and then I tried to key and it didn't work, and I slept outside all night. I've been sleeping really bad.
I'm not mad, just disappointed. I had it all planned. I planned for weeks. Next time. It's okay. Next time. How was sleeping outside in the cold?
I'm used to it. So.
It was what?
I'm used to it. It was cold, but it's done it before.
It seems that you don't have a cloak. I mean, if you're used to sleeping outside, don't you want to have like maybe a fur coat?
Look, we're not really one place, right? I'm used to colder than this. 10 times colder.
Just looking at Pipra going, we definitely saw them, right? We definitely, yeah. Okay.
I just reached over to Tormund's bacon and grab a handful and just start eating his
No,
bacon.
go ahead. Go ahead. I got it for the whole group. I knew that we wanted to have a nice hearty breakfast before we go shopping and, of course, our adventure. So please take it. Please.
Thank you.
I'll
No problem.
ask for a plate and just like get a small breakfast portion of eggs and bacon.
So is everyone down now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna like I'm now gonna Matt, like I'm more peppy now. Guys, I in my absence of a lack of pillow fight and hair braiding, I realized it hit me like a rapier in the night.
I see.
We don't have a group name, and I have an idea. Now, this is just a we can maybe try it on. I have an idea. We can try it on, maybe see if it looks good. Maybe we can put it back on the rack, or maybe we can shred our stuff with it. But tell me what you think of this. The Malevolent Unknown Gang.
The Malevolent
also known as abbreviated, the Mugs.
Oh, the
Mugs.
What's the
Mugs?
The Mugs.
We're multiple. There are multiple people in the group, so it's multiple members. Mugs.
We can work on it, but
we can work on it. I thought it. I just thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. Does anyone else have a better idea?
The mugs.
I'll let you know later.
I mean, here's the thing: if we continue to work together, we're going to be invited to balls in the castle. We're going to be, paraded around the city and everything. And they're going to be like, "Who are you?" And are we just going to say just a bunch of idiots? No, we have to.
A bunch of dudes.
Imagine it. You just hear you. Everyone bow down to the mugs. I already have
we've
chills.
done our own share of falling to our knees for mugs, so it would make a wonderful, wonderful change to be the mugs.
If anybody else comes up with another idea, I'm happy. This was just a test, but just the malevolent unknown gang, because no one knows. We don't even know each other. It's great. I think it's beautiful. Kavian, what do you think?
We can work on it.
Well, what about macaroni underground grass for mugs instead of whatever you just said? I think that could work.
Kavian. It could work just as well.
Like Tormund said it was cool, but it's a little advanced in the words. Everyone loves macaroni. Underground, cool. That's grass. I've never seen grass before. It's kind of cool.
You've never seen grass before? What do you mean by that?
You have no idea how much snow there is up north.
Like,
no idea.
Like, is there 10 feet of snow? How do you walk?
More.
It's more than 10! Oh my goodness. Wow.
So hard.
I only have 2 feet to my name, so if there's more than that, then I'll be having some problems.
It's amazing. Most people spend their whole life not knowing what snow's like, but you're the opposite. You grew up not knowing what grass is like. This must be amazing for you.
Had never touched grass before your brother found them.
Really beautiful.
Very, very
It
beautiful.
doesn't taste very good though.
So let's here's what we'll do. Okay. We don't have to do it now. We don't have to start parading ourselves as the mugs right now. Let's wait for Darcy's and Slavian to come in back in. We'll pitch it. We'll do a vote. If anyone until that time, come up with your own and we'll vote on the best one.
Very much understood. I believe this is the best course of action.
Pipra, does that sound good?
That sounds good.
Pipra just doesn't want to be a mug.
I'm looking at the words to try and use.
Yes, I'm just kind of going with that.
While you guys were downstairs, I literally kept typing in Google, words that start with M. Words that start with U.
I've got an acronym generator up and I'm just refreshing till I get something good. Well, speaking of trying on, and I mean not the name of our gang, but, well, I certainly need something other than, and I just gestured to my clothes, still ripped, still mildly injured from underneath. I certainly need a better stab-proof wearing than this. Would you mind if I browsed the town for some armor or something or other?
Of course. I honestly think we could go to a few places. Let's get a list. We need to go to get some armor, specifically for Hera. I think potions would be good. Does anybody else have any other places?
Nope.
No? Don't need any weapons or anything, Kavian?
No, I am plenty settled with my bow. It does all I need to do.
Okay. Piprid, would you like maybe to go to maybe we can find some scrolls for some fancy spells?
We can search the library. We also need to see if we can get a good deal on horses.
And horses, okay. Should we go together or should we split up? That's the big question.
I'm content to split up and we can meet here in an hour.
Yeah, sounds good.
Mystical Unique Gang. I like that one too.
Yeah, I really like that. Yeah.
There's so many good ones. So we're going to split up?
I guess.
Sounds good, yeah.
I guess. Okay. Kavian, you're gonna make up not having a pillow fight with me last night. Come on. Let's go get some potions.
Oh god. I'll just follow. Shame.
Already walking. Already
To the
gone.
library? Or shall we go elsewhere first?
I'm down to go to the library.
Okay, we'll go.
We'll
in the
also
direction
deal
of
with the
wherever you-
horses, by the way.
Good shout. Catch you back in an hour.
Yes,
Alright.
Forget the cart. We don't need one.
I'm already gone.
So, as Tormund and Kavian kind of head off to the right after exiting the tavern and off towards the stables and group of buildings off in that direction, Pippa and Hera head off to the left and towards the rest of the town off in that direction, as the tavern sat pretty centered in the town of Beltel here, with an equal amount on both sides. Tormund and Kavian, you eventually, making your way through the various different people of the town, travelers, traders, mercenaries, just all kinds of people, just as the sun's coming up and the day's starting and everyone's kind of going about their business. You eventually come up to the stables. You see the familiar two horses of Rio and Elion that you guys, of course, got from the town of Sin. And other than that, you're not seeing anything else around the area. Not even a kind of tender to the stables currently.
Do we still have the cart, or
The
do
cart
we not have the?
is not there.
What happened to the cart? Did I miss that last
Got
episode?
cart napped.
We got cart napped.
We
Oh
got
my
cart napped.
goodness.
Gone. Stolen from us. Taken too soon. Truly, I made a whole performance about it. It was really convincing.
So no cart, 2 horses to her name, and there is no cart or horses at the stable besides our 2 horses.
Not that you can see.
Okay, Kavian. How many horses do we need if we're not going to get a cart? And do we want to get a horse for each person? Would you like to ride a horse? Would your brother like to ride a horse?
I think my brother is a fan of riding them. He's done really good twice now.
Okay.
I have no experience in horses. I think it can only go wrong and possibly break a neck or two.
I mean, would you like to? I mean, we could do a quick practice run, see how well you do it if you want, because if we're all on horses, we can go faster. We're only as fast as our slowest person.
Yeah, sure, but do we have enough gold for 4 more horses?
That's the thing. That's the thing.
We don't need to pay for them. It's fine.
We could
understand.
We could double up on horses.
Yeah.
Like Pippa and Hera. They can both be on one horse. You and I could be on one horse, or me and Darcy's. I would say that probably your brother would have to be on his own horse. Maybe a little too big. Don't want to break the horse's back.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is we need to see if you can ride. That's the most important thing. So get up on that horse. Let's see let's test that. Let's see how you do.
All right. I'll hop on.
Roll an animal handling check.
I'm going to put my hand on his thigh and be like, you can do this. Remember, don't pull back too hard. And when I do that, I'm going to cast Bardic Inspiration to help with the roll.
Okay.
What's that? Is that a 1d6?
It was a 1d6.
Oh, we're hoping
Best
for
you
a
can get is
6
a
here.
10. Come on.
That's
You
a
rolled
6.
A 4 and
total.
then a 2 for 6 total. Yeah, so
I just say, horse, go.
you're gonna get this.
Move.
You struggle to climb on, and you're kind of struggling a little, and you get this kind of inspiration from Tormund, and you're really unsure what to feel, and you finally get on, and you're kind of grabbing the reins a little bit, and then as you say horse go, you're not really sure what you're doing, and the horse takes off. And as the horse takes off, you're like struggling to stay on, and it's kind of running. It turns to kind of go back into the heart of town towards like the tavern and stuff. And it's going at a pretty decent pace, and you're not really sure what to do. So it eventually, you fly off of it and kind of fall down to the ground and kind of roll over a little bit. You're not going to take actual damage from it, but the horse kind of carries on until it's kind of just past the tavern, where it just kind of slows up and it's just kind of hanging out down the road over there.
I'm pulling out my longbow and aiming an arrow right at it.
You're muted, Dominus.
What?
It
I'm
didn't
not.
come through.
Oh, I must have yelled too loud. No. That's what I said.
Okay.
What? I'm not used to running. They're not supposed to be ridden. You're supposed to hunt them. Let's
No,
go more.
listen. That is 100 gold right there. Don't look at it as a horse. Look at it as a bag of 100 gold. You know how many arrows you could get for 100 gold? Don't waste that.
I have never let an animal humiliate me like that without paying for it.
Listen, I might have given you the wrong directions. Pulling back actually stops the horse. So, if anything, I humiliated you. I apologize.
I point the arrow at you.
Whoa. Okay, listen. Am I not worth more than the horse?
How much are you worth, do you think?
I would like to say more than 100 gold's worth. The life of a human, a half elf, half human, is very important.
You do pay for my meals, so there's that.
Think about all the bacon and eggs you had today.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll lower my arrow.
Okay. We're baby steps. Maybe we'll have you ride on a horse someone's steering. For now. Soon. And honestly, that's perfect because then imagine I'm riding and then you pull out your bow and we could just be, fancy, majestic. While you're shooting people and I'm running around in circles on the horse. That would be amazing. Let's go get the horse before it gets stolen.
Hey, you go do that. I'll just watch from afar.
Okay, I pull it back. Is there as we pull it back to the stables, is there a stable master or anything?
You're not seeing one around, but there's got to be somewhere. You kind of get the impression of it's not just going to be a completely empty stables. They maybe just aren't about right now, whatever it might be.
Hello?
You call
Hello?
out, but there is no reply from the stables area.
Man, I am a very wealthy businessman needing a horse to do business things. Too bad nobody's here. Listen.
Unfortunately, it still doesn't work, and there's nothing that happens.
I don't think anyone's here, Kavian.
Well, then I suppose everything is free here. Do we need any saddles?
I don't think so. We need a cart. Could I search around for a cart?
So around the stables, you don't see any carts or anything. Just the occasional kind of being brought through the town and whatnot by various other horses, like merchants kind of traveling through and what have you, but not any that are completely unattended to.
There's nothing here. This is a very terrible stables. Nothing here. No horses except for our own. No cart. Is there an office room in here?
There's a house next to the main stables area that looks like it would probably be the home of the stable master. However, on the front of it, you can see kind of hanging in front of the front door, there's kind of this almost like a ramshackle sign of some sort that just says out for the morning. And it's just kind of hanging over the door so that people don't approach it.
So, Kavian, there's two things we could do. We could, A, go and get potions, and then come back when he's open. Or, and this is more fun, we could sneak in and see what's inside the house.
The second one, of course.
Of course, let's go. I try to pick the lock.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
Okay, stealth is my middle name, so 17, 13 plus 4.
Okay. So as you approach, you are not seen by any individuals on the road as you go to try to pick this lock, and you kind of looking around to make sure nobody's actually watching you do it. And in the meanwhile, what are you doing, Kavian?
Just stand around and wait, I suppose.
Okay.
Kind of hold guard and make sure no one comes.
Okay. So, Tormund, roll the lock picking.
That's a sleight of hand, right?
Yep.
Oh, that is a natural 20.
Okay. So as you go to pick this lock, and you're kind of working for it for a second, you hear the click, and the door opens right up in front of you. And Kavian, you kind of hear the door kind of open up behind you, and you're able to make it in pretty quickly.
Come on.
You sure don't want me to hold guard? I can make sure no one comes.
Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go in. How about you stand? Don't stand in front of the door. That's a little too suspicious. Stand off near the stables like you're about to, do it like you need to buy a horse or something. If you see someone coming in, just say, "You, sir," like really loudly so I can hear it, and then guide him towards the stables and try to ask, zhuzh up the place, say like, "Oh, I'm very wealthy. I need to buy a bunch of things. What do you have for like all of that stuff,
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
All right. I think this is gonna be this is a perfect plan. All right. I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah,
Close the door.
Okay. So on the inside, you see in front of you a hallway that kind of to the right immediately goes up into a staircase up to a second floor. And the hallway in front of you goes into a room just to the left. And down the ways a little bit, it goes to another room on the left. And there's one room on the right. And the hallway kind of ends at a window at the far end of it. So there's 2 rooms on the left, 1 room on the right, and a staircase right next to the door on the right that goes up.
Okay, I'm going to start with the room on the left.
Okay, first room on the left.
Yeah, what do I see?
So on the first room on the left, as you walk in, you get the idea that it is some sort of office-like room. Let me actually cue the music up because it paused here. So you get the idea that it's some kind of office-like room, as there's kind of a desk there. It's a couple smaller bookshelves, some paper scattered about, and what have you. You figure this is maybe where the stable master kind of handles all the transactions and paperwork and all that kind of stuff, and what have you.
AKA the jackpot. I want to search for a safe. I want to search for whatever looks good.
Okay, so you do not see a safe in the room. However, you can approach the desk, as the desk has a couple drawers, and you could try to look in those.
I'm gonna search in them.
Okay, there's 2 drawers, one on either side, and they're fairly big.
All right, let's start with the left. Go to the right.
All right, so
that's how you read.
You go to open the left one, and it pulls right open. There's nothing kind of holding it back. On the inside, you see kind of a stack of loose papers and parchments and stuff like that kind of tucked in the corner. There's some writing utensils, some kind of enclosed things of ink for writing and whatnot, just a bunch of that kind of miscellaneous stuff.
All right, I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to go over to the other one. There's nothing interesting there. That's all the deeds and the paperwork and stuff.
All right, you go to pull the second one, but it doesn't budge. There doesn't appear to be a lock on it, but it is not wanting to open.
There's no lock on it?
There doesn't appear to be.
My apologies for getting a phone call.
How dare you? I could do detect magic, but that's a spell slot. I'll detect magic. Okay. Casting it.
There is no magical properties going on with this drawer.
Oh! Dang it! Maybe I should have searched the area first. I'm gonna search around.
Okay.
Like, do I see anything interesting?
Make an investigation check.
I should have done that first before checking if there's magic. That is a investigation. That's a 10.
Whole spell slot gone.
So as you look around, you're not able to see anything that kind of obviously stands out as to a solution to getting this drawer open. The bookshelves seem fairly normal. There's no obvious buttons or keys or anything of the sort that might kind of give you a lead as to what to do to get the drawer open. And you almost get the impression that the method of getting this open is a very unorthodox method, but you just can't put your finger on it. You're not sure what.
I open the left drawer again. I search around to see if there's like a lever or something that would open the right drawer.
You look in the drawer, but you don't notice anything other than just the papers and stuff from before. Just an ordinary drawer.
I don't want to cause any disrupt. I'm not going to try and break open I'm not going to break open the other drawer, because that's just sloppy work, honestly. You want to be in and out without knowing. without anyone knowing. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna search each room, and I just want to find something of value.
Okay.
Whether it's weapons or money or the deed to his whole property that I can forge into my name and own a stable in this area.
As you exit that room, to the right, you see the front door and the staircase, and to the left, along the same wall, there's a second room, and then there is a room not quite perfectly mirrored to the doorway of the one you're in, but in between the two doorways on your wall, and it kind of opens into a bigger room.
All right, let's go into the bigger room.
Okay, so you go into the bigger room, and in there, as you walk in, it appears to you as a sort of kind of kitchen dining type of setup. There's a little spot to cook food and whatnot. There's a table, some chairs, and just kind of a little area where a lot of time might be spent with the various meals or with any company over, whatever it might be. That kind of a room.
Oh, it's a kitchen. Anything good in the kitchen? I do a.
You can roll investigation.
That is a. That's cocked. 12 plus 2, 14.
Okay. So as you're looking around, you don't notice anything that super stands out as being like really valuable or anything that might help with the office room in particular. You notice that the kind of the cutlery and some of the different kind of plates and whatnot, they're not cheap. They're all right. This person who tends to the stables has a little bit of money, kind of, a little more than modest. And beyond that, I mean, that's really all you can notice.
Nothing good. Okay, I'm searching for the big boy safe. I'm gonna go to the next room available, which I think is the one on the left. I want to just do a quick glance. Is there any if I will know when the jackpot is hit, and I want to see if I find that jackpot.
Okay, so as you glance into the next room over to the left, and you look inside, it is appearing to be some sort of kind of personal library of sorts. It is all bookshelves, and it all filled with various books of different kinds, and there's a little chair next to a side table that has a couple candles on it and candle holders and stuff for maybe somebody who just wants to go in there and read for a while. But other than that, there's nothing else that appears notable in
Would there be
room.
any spell books or tomes maybe for Hera Pipra?
You can make an Arcana check.
Ooh.
I love being a bard because at level 2 I get at least half proficiency on everything. So now I don't have a negative proficiency. It's so good.
Nice.
But that's a 4 plus 1, so that's a 5. So don't really know spells.
All
don't
right.
really know those
You
type of
don't
spells.
notice any. You don't notice any books that appear to fit that description. They all just kind of look like books of various shapes and
It's
sizes.
literally just 50 copies of Game of Thrones. Why this man just really loves George R.R. Martin. I leave. Next room.
Okay, that is all of the rooms on the bottom floor. So you can
Upstairs.
All right.
That's where the personal stuff is.
So you go.
I'm finding something.
You go to the stairs, and as you head upstairs, you see another hallway in front of you, and Harley's being a troublemaker. You see a hallway in front of you. There is to the left a doorway leads into a room of sorts, and at the very end of the hallway, it turns to the right into a doorway to another room as well. And it's only the two doorways up here.
Okay, let's start with the first one. Open. Try to open it.
As you walk up to this first doorway to the left, and you open it up, in front of you appears to be some sort of bedroom. It doesn't appear all that grand, but it's a modest bedroom. It's got a single bed, nightstand. It's all very nice and kind of tidied up, and it looks like it hasn't been disturbed in a while. There's a couple standing dressers and what have you. There's a window on the side of the wall. Nothing that really catches your attention in the form of like valuables, but there's a lot of kind of different things that you could go through and whatnot with all these different drawers and what have you.
I'll do like a quick sweep because I know time is of the essence. So I'm just
Okay.
gonna do a quick sweep and see if there's anything. It's a guest room, you know. You don't really put valuables in the guest room, but just in case, you know, I don't want to get duped.
Okay, as you
That
go,
is.
I'm not gonna have you roll on that. As you go
Oh, okay.
through and
Thank God.
sweep the room and whatnot, you notice that everything is empty. Everything's empty. There is not anything in here, not even any clothes, not any extra bed stuff. All the dressers, all the drawers, all the stands, it's all just empty.
Starting to get desperate, starting to think about just prying open that other drawer, but I go into the back. I do go into the final room. This is the last chance. If I don't find anything, I'm prying open that desk drawer that I wasted a spell slot on.
Okay. As you go into the final room and you turn to the right and you enter the doorway, you see another bedroom. And this bedroom looks more lived in. This one seems like it's definitely used often. It's not as clean. There appears to be the occasional little bit of clothing and whatnot kind of on the floor. There's some dressers, some nightstands, stuff like that. Nothing that immediately catches your attention in terms of being valuable specifically, or anything to that regard. And as you walk in, you're going to go to Cavian as a individual dives off of the street and starts kind of making his way towards the building. This person is a Ezra man who has a beard, goes kind of medium length, brownish color, kind of longer hair, kind of comes down to the shoulders, is kind of straight, but fairly thick. And he kind of whips out or kind of pulls out of his pocket this little key ring. It's got 2 or 3 keys on it. You're not really sure, but he kind of gets it into his hands, and he is approaching the house that Tormund is inside of.
Oh, no.
I just shout out, hey, fine, sir. Come over here real quick.
He's going to kind of turn his attention and get this kind of startled look, and he's going to kind of like, oh, yes. And he approaches you, and he's like, can I help you?
Yeah, come look at this horse. When you look at this horse, do you see anything in particular that kind of throws you off a bit?
Which horse is it that you're pointing to?
I gotta find the name. I don't have it written down. Horse 1. I point at the...
Horse 1!
Rio,
I want to the right.
Rio is the brown one, Elion is the white one.
The Rio, then.
Okay. He kind of looks at the horse and studies it for a second, and he's like, no, horse is, kind of pats it a little bit. He's, perfectly healthy. Perfectly good condition.
Don't tell the horse, but I think it looks a little fat, don't you think? I think he's been eating too much.
He kind of gives you a confused look and kind of looks at the horse. He's like, I mean, that it could. He looks fine, but I mean, maybe you'd probably know the horse better than I would, as I've not seen it before. I really must go. I'm not currently on the job.
No, you must not. It's totally fine. They can wait.
What?
The other horse, however, if you look at this one.
Make a persuasion check.
We're like gonna get on work. No, you will not.
I have such low charisma. This is bad. 3.
Oh, it's a 3.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
So at hearing that, he's gonna give you this confused look, and then he's gonna, as you're talking, he's just gonna kind of, he's gonna give you this kind of nod. He's gonna kind of back up slowly. He's be like, right, I'll be here a little later. If you still need assistance, and he's gonna turn.
In the name of the city, stop! I am a member of the guard, and if you do not stop right now, you will force me to.
He turns and looks at you. Roll a deception check.
Oh my god! This is
so
bad.
Oh,
What did I miss?
You're
11.
So. He's gonna turn and he's gonna look at you, and he's gonna stop in his tracks and say, "Did I do something wrong?"
Yes, you just pushed me away as if I was talking to you, and you just decided to not care about me. You didn't even check my other horse.
That's not against the law around here. I have some busy matters to attend to. Now,
The laws have changed. It's changed exactly 3 hours ago.
He's gonna kind of scoff. If you excuse me, he's gonna turn around and walk up to the door.
I'm gonna pull my sword on you.
Do you say that?
I say that.
He's gonna kind of turn and give you this kind of confused look again and say, I surely would think a member of the guard around here would not act with such distaste. And he's gonna turn and continue walking up to the door. And at this point,
you'd be glad to know.
At this point, he's at the door. He's gonna enter the key, turn it, open the door.
I'm gonna jump on him and push him down to the ground.
You're pretty far away at this point, so it would take you a little bit to get there. He is gonna get the door open, and we're gonna go back to Tormund, who heard the signal from outside as you walked into that room. You heard that, and you're now in this room. You had just stepped into this kind of master bedroom.
And do I know he's coming in?
You just heard Kavian just now call out with the keyword, the "Hey sir" or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I start panicking. I look. Is there a window around?
In this room, there is a window on the far side, directly mirrored to that of the doorway.
Okay. I have probably a minute. I am going to do a quick search. Is there anything in the bedroom?
Make an investigation check.
And this is quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not like opening drawers or like I'm just like quickly just look. So, oh my god, I just rolled that off my thing. That's a investigation.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 10.
All right. Ooh. So as your quick glance around, for the most part, you don't notice anything other than a fairly messy bedroom. And this person has some decent belongings, but nothing that you can really easily grab and kind of sell off. But however, you do notice on one of the nightstands next to the bed, there is a little coin purse, but that is about all you can make out.
I grab the coin purse, stealthily make my way to the window.
Okay.
I'm gonna open it, get out, close it, and then I'm gonna jump down onto the ground.
Roll a strength check to open the window.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Tormund's strength and my charisma are two weaknesses, and we had to use them both.
Wait, it's bad news. It was a natural one. Oh no!
Oh no!
So you're going you're kind of in this panicked rush state. You go to the window and you're going to try to pull up on it and open, and you're kind of panicked and you're really trying to work this thing open. And after a little bit of struggling, eventually you kind of come to grips with the fact that it's not budging, and this window is not going to kind of get opened. And you do notice as well that kind of on the frame to the side of the window, a part of the kind of wooden outline to it has at this point cracked from all of your attempts at it, and the wood has kind of started to, it's gone from a perfect square shape around the window to one kind of plank in it is kind of leaning off to the side now, and is definitely noticeably different than how it was left.
Oh, scheisse. Do I hear anyone near me?
So,
like, do I hear the man like coming upstairs, or is
after
he
your little deal with the window, and you see the board kind of fall off to the side, and you kind of step back, you hear the door at the bottom open. And as it opens, you can kind of hear Kavian's like distant attempts at like talking to this guy and trying to get him to stop. And at this point, the guy is just trying to get in with a hurry. He's kind of like, yeah, I'll be out later, like just trying to kind of get rid of Kavian in a way. And as soon as he opens the door, as Kavian's trying to kind of come up and approach and try to kind of engage with him. You can try to do something, but he's about to close the door really quick. So I don't know if you're
Can
gonna
I
try
put
to.
my foot in the door?
Okay. This is Will talking to Potato Dude.
Yeah.
I have 2 ideas. One is riskier than the other. Do I do the risky one or do I do the more chill one?
Risky.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say that. Okay, I'm going to sneak up to the top of the stairs. My cloak's gonna come down. Pan flute's gonna come out. If I get to like the top of the stairs, am I able to like peek out and see him like walking in?
So he's opened the door, and Kavian has tried to run up and try to kind of interfere with the door, but the door was very quickly kind of closed behind. The lock was kind of locked as well, just because this dude was really weirded out by Kavian. And he is not going to go upstairs, but you're going to kind of hear the footsteps kind of go down the hallway a little bit and kind of into one of the rooms. As you approach the staircase, you can't see him down there as he's made his way out of view, and you're not sure where he is in the room, or in the house, but you don't hear footsteps.
All right, that changed.
I'm just gonna knock on the door.
What is? So he's walking down the hallway, right?
He last you heard, he was walking downstairs somewhere, and at the top of the stairs, you can't see him by the front door or in the entry. Is
it kind of like there's the door and then the stairs are directly to the right? So if I just go downstairs, I'm right at the door.
If you're looking from the top of the stairs, you see the door at the foot of the stairs, and then the hallway's just to the right.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. This is kind of seems like details, but this is important. What are the dimensions of the hallway?
In terms of width, in terms of what are we talking?
Yeah, just like what's the width and height? I
would say the width of it is probably maybe 4 feet across, and the height of it is standard building. It'll probably go up 7.5 feet.
Okay.
To the ceiling.
Before I do this, I would know this. Am I able to unlock it from the inside? Or would I need a key?
You can see that there is a lock that he was probably the lock he used to kind of lock the door after he closed it on Kavian. Pretty simple, nothing crazy.
Okay. As he's walking down the hallway, right kind of at the base of the door facing the hallway, I'm going to cast Silent Image, and I'm going to create a wall. So it's almost like if he turns around, it almost looks like there's just it's like he looks back and all he sees is just like the end of a hallway.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Once I cast that, I'm going to go down, I'm going to unlock the door, open it, and I'm going to try and sneak out.
Okay, so you cast Silent Image. Now, roll a stealth check with advantage.
I'm sweating bullets. Oh God! Come on! Thank God for advantage. It was originally a 9, but that with advantage, it is a 16 plus 4. It's a 20.
Okay. So you cast Silent Image, and you're slowly making your way down the stairs, trying not to make a sound. You kind of hear him, a couple footsteps, and then the footsteps stop, and you kind of hear him going through maybe papers by the sounds of it, kind of looking into a drawer. It sounds like he's in the office, which is the first door on the left in that hallway. So he's pretty close. And you can kind of hear him in there going about, doing whatever. You eventually make your way down to the door, and you haven't made a sound at this point. And as you go to put your hand on the lock, you hear him step into the hallway, and you kind of turn and look. It catches your attention. And as he's stepping into the hallway, he glances in your direction, and you essentially make eye contact. And then he turns and he heads towards some of the other rooms because all he saw was a hallway. And as he enters the kitchen-esque room to the right, you see him kind of dip into there. you are left alone in this hallway.
Gonna slowly open the door. Well, actually, first, I'm going to because I know if I open the door, I'm probably going to get hit by an axe from Kavian because I know how Kavian is. I'm going to use a cantrip and cast a message. So, Kavian, in the depths of your mind, I don't know how well he's going to take this, but in the depths of your mind, you hear me say, "Hey, it's Tormund. I'm about to open the front door. Do not hit me with your axe." And I open the door.
I just back away, holding for my ears, not sure what's happening. The shout, Tormund, is that you? What's happening?
I unlock the door and open it.
I
Turn back around slowly, close it.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Kavian, hold up the little coin purse. This man had nothing. Let's go and run.
held him back as well as I could. I did what I did my best.
You did perfect. We gotta go
you.
before he finds
right,
out
right.
about the fake wall. Let's go.
Also, are you in my head?
Oh yeah,
Are you in
yeah.
my
Don't worry.
imagination or something?
Just know. I know everything you're thinking. Let's go.
Oh boy. All right. Meanwhile, with Pippa and Hera, who had gone off to the left of the tavern, in search of a library, by the sounds of it.
Yes. Indeed, indeed. We're
So-
looking for a library for some spells for Pipra. Or some scrolls.
As you head down the road and you kind of make your way through the various traders and travelers and everything in between, through the bustling town in the early bit of morning, you see a couple different buildings. You see the blacksmith, you see the tailor, you even see what looks to be kind of a woodcutting sort of business. There's a dude out on the side of the building just chopping up a bunch of firewood, putting it into a pile. And
Do we see
eventually,
anything that looks like an armory or a smithy?
you do see a blacksmith,
Okay,
but that
I'm
is
keeping a note of that for later.
okay. So that's the closest thing you see. And eventually, you get to the end of the town, and nothing really strikes your kind of query. Nothing appears to look like a library or any building quite of that style, as you've kind of reached the other end of the town at this point.
Okay. Damn. I suppose to the closest place that looks like I could get armor then, if there's no library where we can get some magic for Pipra.
Yeah, we can just head to there.
Yeah, we'll head in the direction of that then, yeah.
Okay, so as you approach the blacksmith, the building appears to just be a normal house, like any of the other ones, with the whites and grays of the stone, accented with all the wood, and a good bit of kind of overgrowth around it, and what have you. And the only difference is that a part of it kind of has an addition, and on that addition you see like a little forge in that area. There's a bunch of like blacksmithing type of things. You see like a kind of larger table with a couple pieces of armor kind of sitting on it. You see a little area off to the side where it might sharpen some weapons and whatnot. And the person kind of working it is this, to your surprise, is an elven man who appears to be fairly older. At this point, he's got a fair beard kind of starting. It's of a kind of lighter brown color that's starting to gray a little bit. And he's got hair that kind of comes down to ears length. Same deal. It's kind of a lighter gray that is starting to have a little bit of graying kind of form in it. And he's not very tall, especially for an elf. He's kind of more average height. And he is currently kind of focused on the table that has the various pieces of armor on it and whatnot. Just looking to be just kind of lost in what he's doing.
I'd like to approach him and just like go, good morning, sir.
Morning.
Morning. I'm looking to buy some armor. Is there any stock that you could show me?
Oh, well, you've come to the right place, I suppose.
I'm glad to hear it.
What, anything specifically you're looking for?
Well, sir, I'm looking for something light enough that, well, I could comfortably wear it, and heavy enough that it's going to stop this from happening again. And I point towards like the now healed but still visible injuries that I've sustained.
Okay. He's gonna kind of study it for a little bit. He's gonna kind of think for a second, and then he's gonna kind of go over to walk over to another area of this kind of addition. He's gonna kind of open up this almost like wardrobe type thing, but kind of built to withstand the kind of more outdoor elements. Kind of opens this up, and on the inside, it seems larger than it should be on the inside. Like there's more to it. And there's just a bunch of different various kind of lighter types of armors and cloaks and just regular clothing and what have you, just all kind of in there that he's kind of sifting through for a little bit, just kind of studying, kind of looking through and kind of taking his time to kind of figure out what exactly he feel might be the right fit for you. And eventually he brings out this this kind of chess piece type of really, really fancy looking piece of armor, which at first catches your attention for the kind of turquoise color that kind of hits your eye as it comes out. And as he kind of reveals it more, the turquoise color is more of an accent, if anything. It appears to be some sort of kind of like a leathery type of light armor that has these almost crystal-like accents, and that is where the turquoise color comes from. The crystal accents kind of seem like what kind of reinforces the armor a little bit and kind of adds to the kind of protection factor. There's a couple lines of it that kind of go down the sleeves a little bit, and that kind of come up into the chest area, and they kind of all kind of meet in this kind of center part of it, where there's kind of a larger part of this kind of crystal that you're not really sure of, this kind of crystalline type of material. All of this is the turquoise color, of course, in the center, and you kind of get the impression that that's what's going to take most of the blows and is kind of built to do so. And so it's this kind of darker charcoal, nearly black color accented by this turquoise. He's going to kind of hold it up in front of you and kind of inquire, well, I feel like this could do the trick pretty well. It is one of our more expensive pieces, but what do you think? He hands it to you for you to kind of grab.
Of course, I'd just like to take a look over. It looks beautiful. I'm just gonna say, wow, it looks beautiful. I'm just gonna run my hands over it and feel it for a bit. Can I investigation to see like what this would add to my AC?
You can indeed.
Okay. Oh my god. So that roll was a 3.
Rip.
I'm good.
Okay.
All right.
You don't currently have armor on, do you?
I do not. I do
Okay.
not currently have armor
I was
on.
checking everything. Okay. So as you're doing this investigation check and you're trying to see what you can see from it, you're not really sure, exactly how much this might benefit you. But what you can tell, much from kind of you're just observing it as he pulls it out, is this is a lighter armor, so it's not really going to slow you down, and it is much better than not having armor. The thing that really intrigues you is the kind of crystalline type of material that kind of goes through it and accents it and kind of almost strengthens it, making it better. You would at least get the impression it's better than any normal kind of just leather thrown together armor.
Is it possible that it's enchanted and I can make an Arcana check?
You, based on your investigation check, the thought of it being enchanted doesn't cross your mind.
Okay. Cool. I'm just gonna say, yeah, this is looking nice. Well, sir, it looks beautiful as far as I can tell. It's far sight better than my clothes. What you said it was one of your more expensive pieces. What would be the price?
Well, let's see. Just the chess pieces. I don't have the rest of the set. However, I can work with you on something there. This piece right here is the last one I've got. Tell you what, I'll be willing to part with it for say 15 gold pieces.
50 or 15 was that?
15.
Oh yeah. Consider it sold. Thank you very much.
Ah, very well. And he's going to continue on. So, as for not having the rest of that armor set, I think I have something that might work very well for you. He kind of squints his eyes a little bit and kind of gestures towards you. The magic type, kind of inquiring as to you as a person.
Correct, yes. It's been a while since I've had to wield spells against a person, but it looks like this may be the route I'm going down, unfortunately.
Ah, well, happens to the best of us. If you go and see the tailor just down the road, good friend of mine, we do a lot of projects together. I'm sure they could maybe fashion up something to work in conjunction with this here this chess piece for you to complement the colors of it and get you a proper new set of gear for your travels.
Well, of course. Thank you very much. I'm
just
gonna,
let him know.
slide him the coin.
Let him know. He's going to take the coin in his hand. Let him know Galor sent you. And he takes the coin and he kind of tosses it onto his onto the table where he's working with the armor. And he looks over at Pipra from behind. Ed, were you looking for anything?
Magical robes, perhaps, but no armor.
Ah, well, that is definitely something I cannot help you in. However, wish you well on your travels. And he turns and goes back to kind of working on the armor that he was working on as you approached.
Just for my character sheet now, how what would that armor be giving my AC?
So once you take the armor and you put it on, it is going to give you a boost of 4 to your
4. That's respectable.
Are magical robes a thing in Blutora? Do
Guess
I
you'll have
have
to
any
see.
hope of gaining more than 12 AC?
I'll have to see.
Well, shall we go to the tailor? I believe you'd like some robes, and I'd like something to complement this. Maybe repair my cape, and I just gestured to the bit that I tore off for Tormund earlier.
Yes, since we'll be headed north, I probably will need something a little warmer than this.
All right. So as you guys leave from the blacksmith and you kind of turn your attention to the left where you see the tailor, the building is only separated by another building in between the two, all on the same side of the road. A building in between just appears to be some kind of general sort of trade shop of sorts. And the tailor kind of sticks out, as you can kind of see in the front of it. It's kind of got on display some more vibrant colors of different fabrics and stuff.
I'd like to go in.
Okay. As you approach the tailor building, there's nobody on the outside, but as you approach, there's a little kind of a sign to the side of it that just has the message, "Come on in." And so kind of take that and you open up the door. And as you open up the door to the inside, you're greeted by this room that has a kind of front counter, not that far in front of you. It's pretty close quarters, pretty tightly packed kind of entryway here, where you might walk up to this kind of countertop and maybe place an order or what have you. And there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. You see a doorway that kind of leads into a back room, and off to the side there's a doorway that appears to go into more of like a house type of side of the building. And there's nobody at the counter currently.
I'm gonna go let Harley out, so just continue.
Cool. So I'll take the lead and I'll go up to the counter and just say, excuse me, we were just sent from the other shop by Galler.
I will say there's nobody at the counter right now.
Yeah, this is more of like an announcement
Okay.
that we are here. Sorry.
Okay. You're gonna hear a voice from in the distance say, "Oh, 1 second," and you hear some kind of shuffling around of various things. You're not really sure what it is or what to make of it, and eventually, out from the kind of doorway that leads into more of like a back rooms working for on the kind of tailor stuff, not the side that goes into the house. You see a woman kind of exit from that doorway, and this woman appears to be of Ezuru origin, and this is an older woman who appears to be fairly short even for an Ezuru human. They've got gray hair through and through. It's completely grayed over at this point, and nothing really stands out with her appearance beyond that. She's got some fairly vibrant colors in her clothing and whatnot. You kind of assume that she made it herself, and she walks out and up to the counter and kind of looks up at you, the both of you. How can I help you?
Good evening. Well, good morning, I suppose. I'm looking for something that fits two criteria. We're traveling north and believe that we're going to be heading into colder climates, and we're looking for some clothing that, well, one, matches this new gear that Galor kindly equipped me with, and is warm enough to bear the brunt of the snow and the chills of Ithaca.
I see. And she looks at your armor piece and she kind of stares off into space a little. Galor, that stubborn elf. Well, yeah. Either way, she kind of brushes that off, and she's like, "I think I may be able to find something for you." And as for you, and she points over at Pipra. Well, let's just see. Wait here, and she turns and kind of shuffles off into that back room again. And you can kind of hear her rummaging through some things and kind of looking, and hear some things being kind of tossed about and cabinets being opened and whatnot. Just a vast collection of sounds while she's back there. Are the two of you gonna do anything or say anything in the meantime?
I'm probably gonna see if they do they have fabrics for sale.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of look around and see what kind of things they offer.
She doesn't
if
have
anything.
She doesn't have anything on display out there. It's definitely set up in more of a way that you interact with her, and she kind of works on everything in that back room.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
Harley,
I'm gonna sort of
my dog is trying to poke holes in the couch with her
Oh,
spiky
no.
nails.
dog with the nails. Yeah, I'm just gonna look around at just the counter then. I'm just gonna actually call through to her. Oh, actually, I have this riding cloak that I've been traveling with, and it recently sustained some damage. Is there any chance you could repair this while you work?
Oh, absolutely. I could give it a look. And she, from a distance, you hear that, and she kind of comes out, and in her arm, she's got a couple different things kind of thrown over her arm that she's kind of carrying, like different things that she was kind of sorting through. And she's going to kind of take a look at the cloak and see the little bit of damage that's done to it, and kind of look it up and down and study it for a second. And she's be like, "Ah, yes, this is something that I can definitely attend to. Is this, you still looking for the other things?"
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
Okay. Are you going to give her the cloak?
I am, yes.
Okay. She's going to take the cloak in her other hand, and she's going to walk back with all the things in her, kind of wrapped around her arms and stuff, back into the back room, and you hear some more kind of shuffling through some stuff. And after a little bit, she eventually comes back out into view, and as she comes out, she's got these kind of... these bits of cloth that are kind of darker, kind of black charcoal colors, and then some that are, and then some that are the turquoise color as well. Pretty much perfectly matching the armor piece that you had bought from the blacksmith. She brings these out, and then she kind of walks over to the side and comes out like a little almost gate sort of thing that kind of separates the back of the counter to the kind of main lobby area. And she kind of motions for you to kind of move where you're standing to the kind of center of the room, and motions for you to kind of put your arms up. But she's not going to say
I
anything.
did exactly that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's going to come over and she's going to kind of look, and she's got these like tools around her belt and stuff, like all kinds of different pins and needles and whatnot. Like, she's been doing this for years. She's going to take one of the pieces of cloth, and she's going to kind of pin it to just under the left shoulder of the armor piece that you had gotten. As it kind of, the armor piece kind of goes over and kind of goes into a sleeve. There's a little bit of a gap on the side, so she's going to pin it kind of up and under that, and she's going to take it and work it down your left side, and then it's going to come across the waist, and then she goes to the lower right back and pins it in there. And this is a piece of the black clothing that she kind of does this on to kind of tie that in. And then from that same spot, she takes one of the turquoise things, pins it in, and it kind of has it loop around the back to the other side, pins it there, and it kind of hangs down your left leg, kind of down to about the ankle in a sort of, kind of like a shoulder cape kind of way, but from the hip down to the ankle of this kind of turquoise color. And then she's kind of takes a step back and takes a look at it. And then she just kind of nods to herself, and she turns, goes into back behind the counter into the kind of house area. She walks out with like this mirror that is the size of her, like in height. This mirror is as tall as she is, and she's just as if she's done this a million times, as if she is as strong as she would be if she were 3 times her height. She's just effortlessly moving this mirror that is almost taller than she is out into the opening for you to look at, and you can kind of see that the armor piece is now perfectly accented with this black color that kind of comes around and swoops at the hip, and then the turquoise color kind of comes off on one of the legs and kind of wraps around the back a little bit, which accents the colors perfectly, and looks like the entire set kind of works together as it was made that way.
It looks beautiful. Thank you very much.
Here, look at that.
Do you think this suits me, Pipra?
Yeah.
Glad you like it. And she turns and goes back into the back. And for you, as she doesn't even look at you guys, but she's like towards Pipra. And for you, she disappears behind the door. And after a moment, she kind of comes back out. And she's got this darker, this darker blue, maybe like a navy blue kind of thing wrapped around her arm, or kind of slung over her arm. And she's going to go up to the counter. She's going to place it out and kind of spreads it out on the counter to where you can see it is a standard cloak, you know, as you would expect a cloak would be. Whereas it's this navy blue in its little kind of strings on the front of it that you could use to kind of adjust the hood. Those are colored in a kind of lighter gray sort of color as the accent, and then all down the kind of front sides of the cloak, that light gray color just has a little bit of this kind of wavy design that kind of goes through and accents it a little bit to kind of add to the style of it. And she says, well, I didn't have anything that currently contains any magical properties. However, this right here, I feel as though this right here might suit you very nice, and well, this piece was crafted specifically to someday maybe carry some magical properties, as I had made this piece years ago, and well, never quite found the right use of it, the right person for it. But you know, I think it might be. I think it might be now.
Thank you. It's quite lovely.
I think it would look good on you. I think that would suit as well.
I'm very happy to hear that. Well, with repairing the cloak that you brought me, I can't say that I would have it done in a quick manner of time. Do you plan to be in town long?
For maybe the morning.
Well, could I get your name? Maybe I could, whenever I get it done, I could maybe try to have a courier of sorts track you down.
Of course. My name is Hera Goldkrugen.
She pulls out a little notepad and writes this down. Very well. Well, I'll see what I can do about the cloak. I will, of course, require that you pay for it up front here, as you
Of course.
won't be in town. And for the pieces that I have been able to provide you with and repairing the cloak, yeah, it'll be simple 5 gold pieces.
Of course. I'd like to hand her 7 just because she's been dead friendly.
Oh, that's not necessary at all, dear. You don't have to. She's going to
not
try.
necessary, but as a thank you.
Oh, very kind. And she turns and kind of puts them below the counter in like an unknown area, probably where she puts all her money that she gets. And she's like, "Well, is there anything else I could do?"
Was that just Tara's or was it mine?
That was for all of it.
Okay. So is this like just a cloak that wraps around, or is it like
It is
kind of an outfit with a cloak?
It's a full cloak, so it kind of wraps around up in the front. Part of it kind of comes down and splits, and then the back side of it is pretty much kind of like a cape, and then it has a hood that you could sling up or just kind of keep down. It has 2 light gray strings and the light gray kind of accents on the front.
So I'd probably still need a few more winter clothes.
It's definitely going to do better than what you already had. It's going to do significantly better, but it's up to you. I mean, you're not going to freeze to death with it.
Certainly,
Okay.
as we move further north, we might find more woolen gear.
Yeah.
For now, this
As long
should
as
be
I'm
alright.
fine
As
with
long as we
this.
can, yeah.
Because I'm very much wearing summer
Mhm.
outfits.
As we say, we'll be traveling north. Thank you for repairing the cloak.
Thank you for your kindness.
Very well. And she turns and scurries on back to her room and disappears from sight.
Cool. I think we should head back to the outside of the tavern because it's been about the hour, and I'm just going to very quickly update my description.
Okay. So as you guys exit and you kind of start approaching the tavern, you can see off in the distance, you see a kind of panicked Tormund and Kavian, just kind of a little on edge, walking towards the tavern as well. And they have the 2 horses in tow as they kind of approach you guys. And you guys end up coming together right in front of the tavern.
How much gold did I get?
In the bag,
Yes.
you haven't checked yet.
Oh, I was assuming as we were walking back, I checked.
Okay, so as you open the bag and you take a look inside, all you can see is a bunch of silver. Dump it out in your hand, and you see that you got from that bag 12 silver pieces.
I passed 6 to Kavian. Hey, good distraction. We're gonna be a great team moving forward.
Yeah, I can get used to this.
How we forgot to get potions. This is like while we're walking back. We forgot to get potions. What are we gonna say?
We'll say they ran out of potions or something.
Okay. Fast forward. Oh, hello. Welcome.
Kavian, hi there.
Hello.
Aren't you guys just looking fabulous? I love the new thread.
Why, thank you.
Thank you.
It's very wonderful. And I just like gesture to the fact that it is also armored as well, and I'm going, hopefully less acupuncture from here on out.
Yeah. You know, we would also I mean, you're gonna have to also worry about slashing and bludgeoning and fire and lightning, blindness, deafness.
As you're listening this off, everyone's just silently looking at you with this look like you can stop now, and you just keep going, and you're just making it worse.
And having to go to the bathroom uncontrollably, but you know, you got the piercing, so that's good. That's one down, about 50 left.
Thank you, Torvin. Very cool. Yes. How about you guys? We get any horses or potions, or?
Sadly, we were unsuccessful. There was the horse master wasn't even there. And then we went into the apothecary and no potions.
Roll a deception
Right.
check.
All right.
Can I help him out?
Yeah, if you want to say something. Oh, I messed that up. If you want to say something to help out,
Should they have to beat
He's
my
not lying.
passive?
you guys can both roll a deception. Kavian and Torment.
Okay.
What do you say, Toot?
I said, should they have to beat my passive perception or insight?
We'll see
Oh,
what
yeah.
they roll.
That
I
is
got a 12.
That's lower.
that is a 17 plus 6.
Oof. Okay, you're not getting that.
All right.
I just got a 12.
Yeah, that's good for Kavian. All right, you guys are
That's
good
very
to
good
go.
for Kavian. But you know, it is preferred to have potions, obviously. But you know, I go with the solution of kill them before they kill you. So
Well, I mean, if you trust my magic and it kind of just sparks from my fingers, as though to warn that it's a bit chaotic at times, then I mean, I suppose I can take care of a little healing.
Roll an intimidation check, Era.
Intimidation going? Oh, that's beautiful. That's a dirty 20.
oh my god.
So at the kind of sparking at the fingers, Tormund, you kind of you take a step back. You're like startled from that, and like you were not expecting that, and you just get this washing feeling over you of like, all right, mental note, don't mess with Hera.
Good to know. You seem like you'd be very good at shocking someone's heart back to life. Good, duly noted. But we got.
It helps that I found a few medicine books with spells in our
Now that'll be useful.
studies before, so I have trained a bit with healing.
Fantastic. Well, we have our two horses. I think, you know, Kavian and I can be on one. We did try to see how Kavian could do you know, leading a horse, and
I bump you into the shoulder, say I did really well, but
did
I'm literally-
fantastic.
Yeah.
But you know, he did so well. I want him to teach me a thing or two. So I'm going to be leading. He's going to be on the back of me, you know, telling me what to do.
As you guys are talking, you hear suddenly out of nowhere, you hear a, and then you kind of look over you glance over to the left, and you see there's an arrow that was shot into the side of the tavern, right in between all of you guys as you were talking. And on the arrow, there is a little parchment kind of tied to the side of it.
Okay.
I'd like to go and
Tell you what, this is a very hostile little town. No wonder it hasn't grown. People are just getting shot with arrows left and right out of nowhere.
Bar
Can I
fights, free
investigate it?
silver, archers. This is a good town.
Pipra goes and takes a look at the note, and on the little parchment you see in just kind of a hurried writing, you see the words behind the tavern, and underneath that it says now, and that's all it says.
This might be our friend we met last night.
Yes.
Wait. We had breakfast together and you didn't tell me you made a friend while I was getting my beauty rest?
Well, we might have had some problems with our room, and in that time we met some, interesting company. We'll see.
I guess you'll kind of meet her. She may be able to help us on our journey, but we may need to help her out with a problem first.
So we're just I'm gonna head in that direction at least.
Yeah. I'll head that way.
Okay.
Come on.
Kavian, do you know about this?
No, but whoever this person is, they're good with archery, so...
Yeah,
I mean-
Kavian, instant brownie points.
You guys might need to exchange techniques.
Yeah, I want to find this person.
All right. Well, let's go then.
Are you guys heading behind the tavern?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys make your way through the kind of gap between the buildings off of the main road and kind of into the more shadowy kind of areas, you end up getting behind the building. There's another group of buildings on the other side, as you're now kind of in the center of this kind of block, if you will, surrounded by houses. It's pretty covered up. Nobody really comes back here much. And as you turn to the right, you went to the left side of the tavern. As you turn to the right, when you get to the back, part of it kind of juts out, and there's this corner. And leaning up against a wall in the corner is a familiar figure. You see the hooded elven woman from last night, who is arms crossed, leaning against a wall, kind of head more tilted down so that anyone inquiring wouldn't be able to see her face. And upon you guys kind of making your presence known, she kind of looks up at you guys and offers up before you can say anything specifically. What'll it be?
Good morning, Tanith. And I'd like to just explain to the rest of them our situation. We may be able to acquire the help of our friend here. She's looking for a woman, and that woman may have been connected to the assault which we endured on our way here. I figured that since our goals align, I would inquire about her services as a sellsword up to the border.
At this point, she is looking at you, Tormund. She is looking into your soul. She is staring you dead in the eyes, and definitely, sending a message.
Oh, before we decide to venture together, introductions are obviously have to be in order. I go up, put my hand out, wait for a hand in return.
She's not going to take it.
Right at her.
She is going to sit there, arms crossed. But as you get closer, you are completely aware that this is the same woman that woke you up.
Well, I'll put my hand back. I will bow and say, Tormund, just Tormund, also known as the Stealthy Boy, also known as the Great Bravado, also known as the One Who Knocks. Pleasure to meet you.
She's gonna kind of give a look of like, okay, and all she's gonna say back is, Tanith.
Oh, no titles, I see. Hopefully we can change that in the near future. If our goals align, I have no problem with it. And Kavian, you seem interested in the archery skills that she possesses. So,
yes, very much so. Hello, my lady. I'm Kavian.
Harrigan,
I do an awkward nod.
Obviously.
Well, I think it would be great to work together. I think this is going to be fun. Don't you think? Looking at everyone.
I just kind of give a nod and like gesture with my staff. So you brought us here. Have you considered?
I'm muted. Whoops. This was you talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna kind of look up at the group and look off to the side and, just make extra sure nobody's around and nobody's listening or anything to that effect. And she's gonna continue. I have been tasked by a certain individual who will remain nameless for the time being. They're paying a handsome sum for this person I have been tasked with finding. They're a part of a larger group known as the Incurio. And this group here in southern Blutora, well, not usually this far southern, but typically sticking to the deserts and badlands of Morafel and Odelia. They're a pretty rough group, pretty dangerous group. Bandits, thieves, smugglers, the lot, you name it. And this woman is of high importance within this group. Not easy to find, not easy to get to, and I don't imagine easy to take down. I'm not chasing a public bounty by any means. This is more of a behind-the-scenes, private matter I've been hired to deal with. And so she's not openly being hunted, let's say. However, I have spent the past just over a month trying to track this woman down. And I've narrowed her down to these regions here in Maratea. Now, I'm just not sure specifically where to look at this point. I feel as though I'm both hot on the trail and also like I've lost it completely. However, meeting your group and your encounter with bandits back on the road who carried the swords of the Uncurio is a good sign nonetheless. So I did a little bit of digging. I spoke with some contacts through the night and into the morning and listened to what I could hear, looked for what I could see, and my best bet is that we can probably find this woman not too far away from here. Up the road a ways, in town of Utine, which is north Maratea. Just take the main road up the ways, you end up there, especially if your group heading to Elabet. Works out
Indeed,
pretty well.
That is the route we were taking. That does align very fortunately.
Not quite in that town, but that town is a start. I believe in the mountain range on the border, Maratea and Odelia, just to the west of Utine, the Zell mountain range, if you're not familiar. I believe within those mountains sits one of the larger outposts, let's call it, for the Uncurio group, and where I believe her to be situated. Now, this job that I'm on is a very dangerous one. It does pay well, but as for good reason. There's probably no real good way to get to her without having to get through many of the Uncurio ranks before we're able to get to her. Now, getting her dead or alive is not of a concern either way, as the price is the same no matter. So that does make it a little easier. However, she's going to look over at Tormund. Before you agree to come help me on this quest and have me perhaps help you in return, you should be honest with yourselves. And she's still looking at Tormund. Or at least, you should be honest with them. She looks back at the group. And you guys, she made it clear that she was looking at Tormund when she said that.
Okay. Can I insight check that?
You can.
Like, see whether or not she's... Okay. Alright, so that passed. That would be a 12.
Okay. So as she says that, you get the idea that she knows something. She and Tormund know something the rest of you do not. It doesn't feel like she is trying to stir the pot or bring up something that isn't true or whatever it might be. There's definitely something more to this picture, and you get also the feeling that this is not their first encounter, the two of them.
I'm gonna turn to Tormund. I'm just gonna go, Tormund, is there anything you'd like to say? That I'm a judgment-free person. if there's something you need to tell us now, you've already proved that you consider us friends. But if there's something you need to say now that, well, she knows that we don't, and I'm kind of giving a look, now's a very good time to make the water clear. It may be, well, inconvenient later on.
I have my own needs, my own wants, and if they become relevant to everyone else, that is when I will reveal them.
Okay. I kind of just nod and go,
I
very
didn't
well.
even look at Hera. I was staring. I was still staring at. I was just staring straight at Tanith.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's fine. I'm going.
Should we know about this? Could this get us in trouble? If this harms us in any way,
I'm
must tell us
inclined
the
to
truth.
agree with Kavian. Although I trust you to your secrets, your privacy is your own, and I will not take that away from you. But if the secrets that you hold are likely to get us in danger as well, we should at least be aware of them. If not their nature, well, if not their exact, then their nature.
Tanith is going to kind of adjust as she's kind of leaning against the wall. She's going to kind of adjust herself a little bit, and she's going to speak up.
I judge you not, Tormund. These
Tormund
matters, I have my own.
has a bounty on his head.
Hmm.
A bounty worth 5,000 gold pieces.
And I would do my best not to flinch at that number.
Set from the Archaic Empire in the north. And then she's gonna look. She's looking at Tormund, and then she looks at the rest of you guys, and she's gonna say, "He found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time, but it's important that you're aware that somebody might be looking for him, and got to be ready. As a matter of fact, in my line of business, you should always be prepared for the worst. I can almost assuredly guarantee you there's multiple people on the lookout for him as we speak. With a price like that, well, you should just be careful." And she's going to look at Tormund again, and then just kind of stop looking at him and just kind of look around the group and do her usual checks around the area.
I'm gonna just look to Tormund and go, well, as it happens, you're among friends, and friends that would be glad to help you clear your bounty. Referring, but not that Tanith knows, but
Mhm.
referring to our mission.
Mhm.
And going, I'd say you're among the kind of friends you can trust with this knowledge. We'll keep you safe. As to the best of our ability.
Indeed.
He doesn't say anything. He just continues to stare at Tanith.
Okay. Well then, she continues, and she, at this point, is no longer leaning against the wall. She kind of pushes herself away from it. You'll come with me and head towards town of Utine to the north. We can make our way to the mountain range and see what we can see, however risky or safe it might prove to be. It's just the four of you, yeah?
There are more that are due to follow, but they're ones that we trust.
And what of these other two? She kind of squints her eyes.
One, the brother of Kavian, and one, a friend.
A friend.
An elf by the name of Darcy's.
She's going to kind of take that name and she kind of ponders it for a second. All right. She turns and starts off towards the main road, away from the alleyway, the tavern. We want to leave right away. Want to get there as fast as we can. Chase this lead before lead vanishes. She,
I agree.
as she reaches the road, she does this really loud whistle, brings her fingers up to her mouth and does this really loud whistle. And after a moment, a horse comes strolling up to right in front of her, and you see this horse in front of you that is a very dark colored, very, very deep brown, through and through, mane and everything colored horse, and the saddle on it is a pretty decent saddle, pretty expensive looking saddle. It's got a lot of kind of intricacies and nice little details and whatnot, and she climbs up on it, no struggle or anything like that, like she's done it a million times. It's definitely her horse, and she looks over at you guys and she just says, "Keep up," and starts off.
Cool.
We still just have Elion and Rio, correct?
Yeah.
And as she says that and starts off, that is where we end today's session.